Let's go, Rivercats! Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
Down Sports.
Drapes, can I interest you in a little more information on Jared McCain, who could be there when the Kings pick, if they pick?
Yeah,
13.
please do.
NBA comparison. No, I don't care for that. Bryn Forbes. Strength. 6'3" combo guard. Good strength and balance. Can play on or off the ball. Prolific shooter. Shoots well off the catch, dribble, or on the move with good balance. Great space to get his shot off fairly well. More wired to score than facilitate. Doesn't have great sizes. He's more of a 2-guard. Isn't a real explosive athlete. But anyway, that's a guy. If you're looking for shooting, especially if you think you need some backcourt help because Malik might leave, I think you could do worse than Jared McCain in the draft.
Yeah, I'm looking at Bleacher Report's write up on him, and they compare him to Emmanuel Quickly.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be a solid player to have. Coming off the bench, can fill it up quickly. What's interesting, 20 years old. Now, let me ask you this. Looking at the draft history of Monty McNair, I feel like they go for older guys,
I hadn't thought of that. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
you know what I mean? And so I don't know, man. And or is this the year you try and package the pick and some players and get somebody? You know, as we talk about the cap space and all that and the lack of flexibility, the more I think about it, they can do some things talking about the Kings. Obviously they can trade this pick or the picks beginning in 2027, I think it is. But then you got some players you can include in those picks. And so I think if I had my druthers, when it's all said and done, I hope we are not making this pick. I hope it's part of a larger deal. Like this pick is part to get a ready-made veteran player that can help us right now.
And that's where I think this is trickier than I realized, because I don't know about you, but I'd only been looking at what the Kings have to work with in terms of the roster and assets and who's out there.
Yeah.
But there's another dimension to it, which is who else is looking for players? Who else is, as Danny Ainge put it, big game hunting?
Right, yes.
And you look at the Jazz, for example, and let's say the Kings and Jazz wanted the same player, theoretically. All right, we're going to trade some draft picks. Utah Jazz. In total, the Jazz own 13 first-round picks outright and a 14th, depending on where they finish in the standings, between 2024 and 2026 with a pick they owe to the Oklahoma City Thunder. 13 first-round picks outright. So they've been working towards this moment.
Right.
So, Oklahoma City's another team that may decide, wow, we've got a good young team. Let's go get a guy.
Yes.
Look at all the picks they have to work with.
So their assets, they have more in their treasure chest.
I'm not criticizing the Kings for not having more. I'm just saying it could be hyper competitive.
I think so. And when it's hyper competitive, the price goes up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we talked about the Gobert deal a few years ago, the KD deal, the massive haul that you had to give up. And so I don't think the Kings are in the market for a big fish like that, though. I think they're in the market for that second tier guy, the guys that we talked about, whether it's a Jeremy Grant. I could see Jeremy Grant going to OKC, to be honest with you. If I'm OKC, I think,
been there before.
Yeah, I think he would fit in perfectly. But I don't think it's, we're going to be in on the Trae Youngs of the world or the Kevin Durant's of the world. who are those under the radar kind of guys? And I'm looking at a team like Houston as a team that maybe we can pick somebody off of.
Really?
Yeah. We
got so many young players.
So many young players. Like Atari Eason, we've talked about, before. This was a guy that was on the bench, hurt at the end of the season. But where's his role? And they have another lottery pick coming up talking about Houston. So where's his role at? And then I'll also look at, they got your boy Jay Sean Tate, who's going to be a free agent. I believe
so. Yeah, we talked about him.
Are they going to be able to re-sign him? Probably not. Maybe that's a guy that we take a flyer on, a guy that you mentioned. And so I keep an eye on Houston as a team that maybe, we might be able to pluck some of their players from.
Maybe I'm giving Danny Ainge way too much credit, but look at this. This would be, how brilliant would this be if this was his plan? I'm going to trade Gobert and Mitchell and set the price for these guys at 4 number ones. Then I'm going to compile so many number ones that down the road a few years, when I want to get those guys, I'll be the only one who can afford the price that I set.
Right. Think about that, right? Yeah. He changed the market.
Yeah.
And it's worked though. Look, they are in position and everybody's talking about, can we go out there and get marketing? I don't see them moving off market. I see them adding to Lowry marketing. Like, to me, that's the move that Danny Ainge is going to make. And so, I don't know who's out there, Whitey, other than the guys I mentioned. But if you're Monty McNair, to me, no pick should be off limits. I feel like we're at a point now where we should not value our draft picks as much as before.
How many do we have to work with as the Kings? Is it 4 or 5 number ones?
I think it's 4 total.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's this year and then
that's
27,
nice,
28.
Danny Ainge laughs at you.
He's laughing at you like, I got like 7 here.
I can trade 4 and not even know it.
I got 7. Yeah, it's but you got to do something, right? And Monty, you can't run it back, Monty. No offense. we can't come back with the same roster and then just add on the margins. I think this is the year, and I've mentioned it before. De'Aaron Fox, 27. Domas about to be 28 this upcoming season, I do believe. And so our window starts right now. Like, we don't have 3 to 5 years to develop, and then we'll be there. By that time, De'Aaron Fox is 30 years old, and we missed out on his prime. And so now's the time to get something done.
Yesterday, we had the G-Man on.
Yeah.
And the G-Man said, he said, I can't mention any players, which we knew. We said that before he came on.
Why G-Man can't mention players?
It's not allowed because he can't mention players that are employed by another team. You probably can't,
I shouldn't be able to either.
Maybe you can.
No, you can't. I think G-Man, man, because guys do it all the time. Like it's.
I remember Tim Roy one time. I was trying to get him on to talk about something the Warriors had been announced, and he said, "I can't. I'm not allowed to do that because it's not official.
It's got to be official."
Yeah, it's a rule. So G-Man is, and I guess I don't know.
Maybe I'm breaking the rule.
If breaking news, told you, I guess you're good.
And think about that. If I can't mention players, then why am I even here? Like, what are we going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
but he said, first of all, he said, I think Keegan's going to be here a long time. And he said something, I think the Kings are poised, set up to make and he was choosing his words carefully. He said, I don't want to say a roster upheaval, but he seems to think something major, as we've been saying. He seems to think something major is on its way.
I do think, and this is, no inside info. I know. I've been talking for like 8 months about this stuff. Jeeves, I can't mention any other players. That's all we do here is mention other players. Like trade deadline, free agent. I do think, and this is no inside info, but Monty's not dumb. He's not stupid. He understands. Wes is, they understand what's at stake here for the Sacramento Kings. The fact that we did not make the playoffs should not sit well with them. Like, you can't just say, well, another year of seasoning and we'll be. No, not in the Western Conference when it's an arms race right now. Not when, like you said, Utah got a boatload of draft picks. Maybe they get better this upcoming offseason and challenge. OKC is going to get stronger. Minnesota. And so there's so many teams right now. Houston's going to be better, I think. San Antonio. And so you were 9th in the Western Conference this year. If you run it back, you risk being 10th, 11th. You're down there with the wrong way. You'll be going the wrong way. And so I don't think those guys are dumb over there, man. I think they understand what's at stake. And I think, I've said it before, this is their most important offseason since coming here.
Mark Stein, by the way, and it looks like this was mostly speculation. He said, keep an eye on Chris Paul and the Spurs, which is what I had said.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's just kind of spitballing. But did you see what Rick Griffin said yesterday?
No.
The New Orleans.
No,
GM.
What did he say?
He had his exit interview.
No, David Griffin. Yeah.
I'm sorry, David Griffin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. David Griffin said, we have in the past been too conservative. We've waited to see how this all looked when everyone was healthy. And he said, we've seen enough now. We've seen enough of it to know that we have work to do. So it sounds like they're ready to make some moves. So Jay and I are speculating yesterday, what if BI became available? Wouldn't he be the type of player who's a good fit for the Kings?
All right, let me just say this. Yes, he would be. But with all due respect to you and Jay, brilliant sports minds, love your takes. This is almost as bad as Stephen A. Smith talking Devin Booker.
No.
And here, I'll tell you why. Let me finish. I'll tell you why. What do we have that can add to the Pelicans roster right now? Because they're not in a rebuilding stage. They're not selling BI away for draft picks.
Keegan.
They're selling. Now, you said that. I didn't say that, Jay.
I know.
Okay, so that's the conversation you're having.
Yeah.
We were having that conversation yesterday. Here's why it's more. We had this very discussion yesterday, too. And I appreciate you calling us out on that. But here's the thing. This is why it's not just idle like, hey, that'd be cool. Ingram has 1 year left on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's eligible to sign a 4-year extension worth $208 million this summer. To avoid the risk of losing Ingram for nothing, the Pelicans have to decide to either give him a contract extension or trade him this summer. Okay? So again, that is speculation, but it's not just, well,
it's not just, okay.
There's reason to think that they might be looking to deal him.
And Keegan would have to be a part, right? Like, if you're New Orleans, what else do the Kings have to offer? It would be Keegan and picks probably too.
Yes.
And are you guys willing to do something like that?
I was, how, believe it or not, I was on the fence a little bit yesterday.
Were you?
And I don't remember where Jay was.
I'd go Keegan with 2 number ones. I think you got to go Keegan with 2 number ones with kind of like what we saw Pascal Siakam. Brandon Ingram has to agree that he will resign here.
Yes.
And of course, we wouldn't have the full birds right, so he would have to take the 120, 130, whatever that is. Which I doubt he would want at this point.
Right. So it likely not going to happen. But from a basketball standpoint, I would love to have Brandon Ingram here.
Yes.
Dude's only 26.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's 30. He's still relatively young.
You need front court help.
Yeah.
And he fits your timeline. Yeah.
A bucket getter, listed at 6'8", but his wingspan is much more than that. I understand that. And so he would fit in perfectly, I think, with this team. Brandon Ingram, an elite scorer, mid-range guy, has some length to help you out. Like, then you got a true big three with him, De'Aaron and Domas. It's going to be hard to pull off. I think, when you look at it, keep an eye on, a contending kind of team or a team like, let's say, Detroit. How about Detroit? You got Jalen Duren, you got Cade Cunningham, and Brandon Ingram. Can you give up Jaden Ivey, 2 number ones or something like that? Like, I think when Ingram leaves, he's not going to go to a contending team or a playoff team. He's going to go to a rebuilding team. Because the playoff team aren't giving up those kind of assets, I don't think.
This is from ever since I tried to talk like Doug Rivers. Pelican debrief. 5 Pelicans who definitely won't be back. 2 who shouldn't return next season. By a guy named Tyler Watts at the top of the list. Won't be back. Brandon Ingram.
So, what'd he say?
I said he was extension eligible, but they held off talks to see how the year played out. Has 1 season left in his current deal. Ingram is likely searching for a max contract. Pelicans cannot afford to overpay him. If the 2 sides cannot work out an extension, it is time to move on.
Yep, there you go.
Are you willing, Drapes, are you even willing to part with, have the conversation of parting with Keegan if Brandon is there for the taking?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
Because it's probably going to take at least 3 number ones
from
kind of what we've seen.
Right.
I think Keegan is a 1, right? He's a first-round draft pick.
Yep.
That's the young talent. I would love to say they would like Herter, but they have enough shooting. But as you guys have alluded to, you can't turn down shooting in the league.
Right.
Because you got to kind of make some money work as well. With Ingram, you need Herter and a Keegan or something like that mixed in. But are you willing to part with 2 number ones?
Ooh, that's a lot. That
is a lot.
And see, and here's the thing, though, Jay, and I'll answer your question here in a second. Whoever you trade Keegan and number ones for, you got to be pretty much guaranteed you're going to make a deep playoff run. Like, it can't be a question mark, well, will he fit or anything like that. My problem is I don't know what Keegan Murray is ultimately going to become. And we've talked about this on air and off air. Like, Keegan still has tons of value. His ceiling is still high. We've mentioned it. Jason Tatum, year 2 to year 3. Peja, year 2 to year 3. So I don't think this offseason is the offseason to make our minds up about Keegan Murray right now.
I love the idea of Brandon Ingram with the Kings, but if I had to give up Keegan, I wouldn't do it. A large part of that would be because of Brandon Ingram's injury history. If there were any way I could get him here and keep Keegan, I would give up a lot of draft picks to make that happen.
Right. To pair him with Keegan.
Yes.
Yeah. I just don't see that happening. But that goes to show you just what kind of assets and players we're looking for if you're Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we can't swing and get a Brandon Ingram without giving up Keegan Murray, what can we get? That's the question. Who else is on the trade market that we can get?
Yep. The Kings offseason conversation continues. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 as we roll on Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at upsizematters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at upsizematters.com. That's upsizematters.com.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Guys, are you still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers guaranteed low T and ED treatments. And this month only, qualified patients get a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. Availability is limited. Book your free exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Progressive presents Flo and JD announcing the Monster Truck Rally.
And here comes the Obliterator.
Whoa! And he's up on 2 wheels. That can't be safe.
Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards.
Did he even check his blind spot?
And the car's on fire.
I definitely don't recommend that.
This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 3 or more A.O. Smith water heaters. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Get low prices on the materials you need today because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Perfect 2 players for the Kings, Mr. Long and Mr. Athletic.
Oh, we
Mr.
need
Long
those
and
two
Mr.
guys,
Athletic.
right?
That's from Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for putting your name on it. 530 asks, 530, I assume this is in relation to some kind of Ingram deal. Could they get a third team involved? And 209 also wondering, any chance we can get Doug McDermott for shooting?
Dougie McBuckets, 32 years of age. Doug McDermott, as I had just pulled up his page, didn't play a whole lot this last season. Rode the bench.
We can do better. We get younger, cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. The problem, though, Whitey, is, as I look at, potential trade guys and things, who actually moves the needle? Who puts us into a top 4?
Okay.
That's what we need, right?
Ask, which needle are we talking about? The needle of actually being a team that can compete, or, the PR needle?
No, I'm not about the PR needle.
Okay.
We need to compete, because if you compete, then the PR needle will come with it over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. And so I don't know if there's one guy that can do that. I mean, I'd say I go into it the same way I went into this past season. Keegan Murray is the key. No matter who we get, if Keegan Murray doesn't become 19, 20 point per game scorer, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We could go out there and get my boy Zach LaVine. Go out and put up great numbers, play great, be fantastic. But if Keegan is just a role player, something to me went terribly wrong. I think that the idea is still that Keegan can be that star player. I don't know if he can or not, but I think from an organizational standpoint, that's what they're hoping. That's what they were hoping this past year.
And he averaged, 15?
15, solid.
If he had been more like 15 every game, I think we'd be saying, oh, there's progress. But because he would have a monstrous game followed up by a game where he disappeared, that's where it seems sometimes like, I'm not sure he's developing. But he is coming along. We know he's a player, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
I think there's every indication. It's probably a little more slowly than any of us would like, but he is making progress.
Yes.
He just didn't shoot the ball overall quite as well this year.
Right, exactly. He was a 35.8% three-point shooter.
Which is not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's not for him.
Yeah. He's capable of better.
Right. If I'm correct, I need to pull this up real quick. Him and Davion were pretty much right in that same category when you look at it. And, Davion actually shot better from three-point percentage than Keegan Murray did. And there's no offense to Davion, but Keegan is supposedly a three-point shooter. And so will the real Keegan please stand up? That's what we need to see. Is he more of a 36-point shooter or a 41% like he was last year?
That's a great point. I think you could also say it about the whole freaking team.
Yeah.
Did they have a down year, or are they really not as good at shooting the basketball as it looked like they were the year before? I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so frustrating from a roster construction standpoint. If you're Monty McNair, like the reason why you so-called ran it back is because you thought guys would perform at least the way they did. Yeah, everything will be fine. He didn't factor in that everybody would, struggle from shooting wise. Now I'm looking at Keegan Murray over the last 18 games, 16.9 points per game, 36.6% 3-point shooting. That's just not going to get it done, Whitey. I'm sorry. I need.
That's not bad for a second year.
It's not bad, but
then you look at but the whole thing is look at the way he played against the Warriors, then look at the way he played against the Pelicans.
Exactly, and it's feast or famine. It seems like with him sometimes. He had that big 47-point game. Remember, everybody was.
We talked to his dad after that, right?
Yeah,
you got his dad on.
Yeah, we had his dad on, and then then he had 25, 13, 21, 20, and then he had a 5-point game. Like, there's no way on earth Keegan Murray should have a 5-point game. And when we talk about, that's not bad for a second-year player, I know I compare him to Jason Tatum, but look at Jason Tatum his second year and the team he played on. If I'm correct, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Look at Peja Stojakovic and the team he played on his second year and then going into his third year. Like, those were good teams. He averaged 15 on a non-playoff team. He averaged 15 on a team where he got the green light. It's not like he's trying to fit in with 5 all-stars and a team that won 60. Keegan Murray, go get yours, young fella. You're the 4th overall pick. Honestly, I'll keep it real with you, 100% real right now. De'Aaron Fox is the one. If I'm walking in, I'm Keegan. I'm saying, I'm going to be 2. No offense, Domas. You're great. But when it comes to scoring the basketball, it's my team too. That's the mentality I need him to have.
So ideally, the Kings go get somebody that plug him in, and where does he fall into that? A 2 or a 3?
The new person or a Keegan?
Yeah, ideally. Well, the new person.
The new person, ideally, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I would say 2, just because I haven't seen from Keegan that he's, ready to take the ball, bull by the horns and say, it's my team. Ideally, if he would do that, then you got a number 3. Because Keegan is your number 2. That's what's so frustrating right now. And if you're Monty McNair, which way do you go? Do you go out there and get a bona fide number 2, a Zach LaVine or somebody like that? Or do you get another role player, a number 3 or a number 4 on your team? I think that's why I say I think it depends on who Keegan Murray is going to be.
Mm-hmm. And it depends on so many other things too. Yeah. But I think in a perfect world, they would like to bring in an impactful player that just his mere presence, just the news that, hey, they just got so-and-so, lifts the whole franchise.
Yeah, we need that this offseason because it's been a while since we've won the PR campaign. Right. Why you got to bring up bad stuff, man?
Well, I'm just saying that would help. That would ease that pain.
It would ease it. Yeah, I get it. And I don't know who moves the needle for Sacramento Kings fans out there, but to me, Zach LaVine, who was the other guy we talked about the other day that I said,
I don't remember Bradley Beal.
Oh, my guy, Brad Beal. Yes. Bradley Beal would move the
We were
needle.
having such a good
he
show,
would win
too.
the PR campaign, the headlines. Bradley Beal in Sacramento, sign me up.
Oh, we're going to take a little break because I need one.
You need one after that? Come on, man.
I thought we were beyond that. I was like, this is going great.
I have not turned
No
the page.
mention of
I was
you.
off yesterday, big fella. I'm still on that.
Who's the NBA's most underrated player? Ooh. Also, we'll get back into this Kings conversation going forward, what to do and how to do it. Drive Guys rolling on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Oh, what a stunner. We're getting ready for the Mavs and the Clippers tonight. We have injury news. No Kawhi. I know it's Kawhi, and he's been dealing with things for a while, but Drapes, as we've been discussing, too many injuries this year. Casting a shadow over the NBA playoffs.
Everybody's hurt.
Yeah.
I think Orlando may be the only team, or OKC or something like that. It's only a couple of teams that aren't being affected by injury right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We have been, of course, talking about where the Kings go from here. How do they get there? And we had to catch up because Drapes wasn't in yesterday. So it sounds like we're kind of on the same page on Brandon Ingram. We're still, he and I anyway. Jay may be with you. I'm not sure on Bradley Beal. A controversial take by you on Bradley Beal. What about, I know we talked about on Monday, what about Kevin Durant? You seem to think that that's not realistic.
No, I don't think so.
He would be a good fit though, right?
Great fit, but too much to give up to get him.
There's going to be a lot of teams. If
a lot of
teams will be lining up.
And you know, if you think about it, you know, if I'm Kevin Durant, I want to go to a team that's knocking on the door of a championship. And so I don't think so. It doesn't, make sense. I'm looking at this text that just came through, man. I tell you what, man. Put your name on it, young fella. Put your name on it. From the 916, Brad Beal is trash. Pure garbage, completely overrated. I'm starting to question Kyle's basketball acumen, honestly.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. He didn't put his name on it. Exactly. Somebody, in his mom's basement texting us right now while eating Cheetos and watching reruns of, some kid's show or something like that. Like, come on, man. Grow up. Put your name on it, young fella. And especially Brad Beal is trash. I just pointed out Brad Beal averaged 18 points, 43% shooting from three. If he's trash, I'll take his trash.
Mm-hmm.
I would take 18 points on 43% three-point shooting right now, Whitey.
Yeah. And by the way, he doesn't go by Brad, does he? I mean, there's Brad Lowhouse. There's some guys with Brad Pitt.
Right.
But he's Bradley.
He's Brad. But if you know him like, I call him Brad.
Okay.
And me and this guy, not Brad Beal. That's when you, yeah.
All right. Pardon
me. All right. Yeah.
I should have known. Let's talk to Larry here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Larry, what's going on?
What's up, Drake? What's up, Drake?
Yo, what's up, Larry? What's up, baby? What's going on?
Same old, same old. I just wanted to talk. We got to stop losing our young players. Keegan is off the board. Remember, you guys got to remember this one thing. He played a lot of tough defense against other guards and stuff.
Yeah.
They have to take his legs away from him. Now, if we could draft somebody that could play defense with Fox, Hurd did decent when he was in there, but you need someone that's going to stop that shooting guard all the time. Number two, we need somebody, a starting three that's long, a 3-and-D. We also need a backup center, someone that when DeMons go out, he's ready to come in and just give us 10 points. We didn't have that this year. We didn't have anybody that was going to stop that their backup center. So everybody's saying Fox can't play play off the ball. He did a good job this year off the ball. That's why we need someone to come in that can play point along with him and play defense. Just giving up our young talent's got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get Doncic. We didn't get who we didn't get last year. Oh, we traded was a man that went to Indiana.
Tyrese? Yeah, Tyrese.
Yeah. We got to stop doing this. We got the talent on the team. Everybody talking about run it back. It was ran back for a reason. There wasn't nothing out there. But this year, even if you get 2 second rounders for Barnes or something like that, get it. But make sure they can play defense and going to help you this year, not 3 years down the road. And if you keep giving up your talent, which we did all those other years, that's why we was in the 16th year drought. That's the reason why, I think, in my opinion.
Got you, Larry. Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, Larry. Appreciate it, baby.
I'm with you as far as the front court. That's why, and maybe it's not the best way to look at it, because when you need talent, if a guy's available, if he's talented, you get him. But I'm really focused on addressing my forward position. I would love to get somebody in who can upgrade at the forward position.
Yeah, and we're not saying Keegan's the guy that we want to move.
I don't think anybody wants to take Keegan.
Exactly. Not at all. And I think you find somebody that you can pair with Keegan, a guy that's, starting to, weigh on me and sound good is Jeremy Grant.
You know how I am.
I know. One day it's like, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but when you look at him, Keegan, and Domas as your front line, I like it. And I think he's a better defender than people give him credit for. I think he's only listed at 6'8", if I'm correct.
He's not,
but he has a 7'3" wingspan.
Mm-hmm. I think he's been a better defender than he's known for being now. He can shoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can shoot the rock.
Not much of a rebounder.
Not much of a rebounder, but you also got to remember, too, he played in Portland. There wasn't much defense being played by anybody. Mm-hmm. So your defensive numbers aren't going to look good when you play in that system with that talent around you. He's 6'8", 7'3" wingspan. I like that. Long defensive. We need more length on the perimeter, and I think Jeremy Grant could help us out.
Remember John Lynch before the NFL draft was talking about bloodlines?
Yes.
Jeremy Grant.
He got some bloodlines, right?
Definitely.
That's true.
He does.
And He's a guy that can knock down the three like you were talking about, a guy that, has some length, a guy that doesn't need the ball and want 25 shots a game. Like, I think he could fit in.
Yeah, he's been everything from the go-to guy to just the guy that comes off the bench and is supposed to play defense.
Yeah.
He's done all of that.
And so, I mentioned earlier Houston as a team that's going to make some moves. I got to feel like Portland has to shake things up too. They got some veteran guys on their team. Malcolm Brogdon, Matisse Thybulle, Jeremy Grant.
They don't really make sense for
They don't, right. It's not part of their timeline
other than
right
spinning
now.
them off for parts.
Exactly. And so look for Portland to be very active out there. I would take any of the three guys I mentioned. I'd take Matisse Thybulle, I'd take Malcolm Brogdon, and I would take Jeremy Grant. Any of those three guys I think could help Sacramento.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. If you want to call, you want to text, we'd love to hear from you. You're going to take shots at us. We'd appreciate if you put your name on it. How about Marshall on Sacktown Sports? Hey, Marshall, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. What's up?
What's up?
I was wondering, I wanted to get your opinion about what you think about too much movement can be a disruption, and we don't ever have a chance to gel. I think another caller may have come in on this, but it's like when you're constantly shifting positions, there's not the time to build that team chemistry with the coaching staff, with the players as well. I'm not saying don't add, but what I'm saying is maybe the players we have get better at what their weak spots are in this offseason. Sabonis definitely needs to improve his jump shot from below the free throw line to the dotted line. I think when De'Aaron needed to, he became a much better shooter. Keegan improved markedly from his first years to this year. We had a lot of injuries, ups and downs, but I just think if we shake it up too much, then we become unstable and we don't have a chance to, play off of one another to the best of our ability. I'm not saying don't add, but I like the idea of keeping some consistency so that the team has a chance to really gel on the court. And, the first 2 years ago, not this year, but last, played really well. The shots were going down. This year, injuries weren't shooting it as well. People get better at what their weaknesses are, and I think we could, and we have another year to get better as a unit, as a team, as a coaching staff and team. I think maybe that's the way to go. What do you guys think about that?
Thank you, Marshall. Continuity for years. Yeah. That's what the Kings were preaching as an organization. Continuity.
Right. And I hear Marshall, and he makes valid points. But I don't think we're at a point where we can maintain what we have in the Western Conference when you look at what other teams are doing. Think about this. The Phoenix Suns, disappointing, right? Horrible season. Bounced in the first round. They were better than us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. So we got to realize exactly who we are and where we were at this season. Sure, a season ago we were in third place, but we see that was just a one-year thing. Where are we going into this season? And so I hear Marshall, I wouldn't want to just run it back or let it develop because everybody else is going for it. You look at a team like Dallas. They made moves at the deadline to improve their roster. And you've mentioned it before. If you're stagnant, you might as well be moving backwards in the Western Conference. You got to go for it. I'm not saying be Daryl Morey and trade all your picks and all your young players for an aging veteran or anything like that. Ideally, we'd keep Keegan and use some of our other assets to get another guy that we can count on night in and night out. I feel like too many times this season, we had too many guys up and down. Really, when you look at it, you can only count on three guys all season long. Malik, De'Aaron, and Domas. Everybody else, even Keegan, was too much of a roller coaster. We need some stability among our guys that night in and night out, we know what we're going to get from them.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll be back with more of your calls. We've got another name to kick around here on the text line. We'll do that when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/build to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/build and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Drive Guys, on the text line here. I think you guys mentioned this earlier in the year, but I would honestly go out and see if we can get someone like DeJounte Murray at the 2 guard. I know y'all talking forwards, but an all-star caliber 2 would be huge in this fast system from the 5-3-0. That's your guy, right?
That is my guy. I love DeJounte Murray. I think he'd fit in perfectly. I don't think he needs the ball or 22, 23 shots. I think he's a solid defender. I think he got some dog in him. And so I would love DeJounte Murray. You know, the thing is, though, Whitey, you know, when we look at trades we can make and some of our assets, you know, we know about the draft picks. There's been talk about Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes. You know, if you're a rebuilding team, a young team, I think you want guys whose contracts are going to be up, like entering the final year of their deal. Both those guys still have 2 more years. So to me, both those guys are going to teams that feel like they're on the cusp of being contenders or a playoff team. Atlanta fits into that mix. But, you know, I look at a Detroit, I look at a Charlotte, any kind of those kind of rosters, you know, even to an extent Portland, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to do that. Think about it. If you're Portland, you got Malcolm Brogdon, you got Matisse Thybulle, 2 veterans. Why would you want to bring in 2 more veterans, different kind of veterans? Really, what you're trying to get are the picks. That's the thing you're most interested in. I don't know if you're trying to take on 2 more years of salary from any of our guys.
Right. Just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Right.
Yeah. To Marshall's point, we heard Marshall before we went to break on continuity. And I understand, you know, his concern is like you don't want to sacrifice continuity just to bring in some new players. But he also said, I'm not saying you can't upgrade the roster. Continuity in and of itself is kind of like cap space, right? It's like, it's nice to have, but it doesn't win you any games.
Right. It doesn't.
You know,
it sounds good.
We have the same people, but we're not getting anywhere.
It doesn't. Right. Exactly. And that's why. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, I think if you have Mike Brown there and you have Domas and you have De'Aaron Fox and presumably Keegan, you got the basis for continuity right there.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's where we need that growth. When you have continuity, what you're actually asking for is guys to grow over time. We need De'Aaron Fox to be better. We need Keegan Murray to be better. Domas, you know, I don't know how much better he can be, but, you know, maybe like our caller said, you know, knock it down to 15 to 17 footer. So if you're going to run it back and keep the same core, those guys got to get better.
I think that was one of the biggest existential issues of this group right now that we kind of danced around, but we don't touch on the fact that last year, 2 years ago, the Kings had their identity and everyone knew, man, those guys can score. And last year they couldn't. So going forward, is that still what they are? Or is now they're a defensive team? Are they still figuring out offensively? Are we that good? You know, that's a tricky thing to figure out too.
So who are the Kings?
Yeah.
Basically, like, are we the number 1 offensive team from 2 years ago? Are we a defensive team that we saw the last month or 2 of the season? And I think there's some sort of combination, and Mike Brown has talked about it all season long. He's okay with the offense taking a step back if the defense has risen. And we saw that happen, but I feel like down the stretch, the loss of Malik Monk, we got to look at what life could be like without him, and it didn't look pretty. We couldn't close out games. We had stretches where we had 12-point quarters, 16 point. Like last year, that would have never have happened, right? The offense was just too good. And so if I'm Kevin Huerter right now, let's say you're coming back, you're going to be a member of SAC. You got to be in the lab, Kevin Huerter. You got to be working on your game. I know you're injured right now, but I'm telling you what.
Dude, I can't even brush my teeth.
I know. I'm like, all right. But seriously, like, you got to come in. I think all the guys got to come in with the mindset that they underachieved. Like, they got to be hungry right from the get-go. I don't want to go into next season and talk about, we losing to Charlotte again or Washington again. That cannot happen if you're the Sacramento Kings.
How much of that was attitude? How much of it was they just weren't as good as they thought they were going to be? And I don't know that anyone knows the answer to that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I think that goes back to what we were just talking about. Yes, they weren't as good, but was it just a down year? Or was the year before just an up year where everything clicked, guys had career seasons, that kind of thing? Like what Keegan Murray did, the most three-pointers ever by a rookie, like, is he really a 41% three-point shooter? Or is he more like 38, 39? You know, I don't know. I need to see more of Keegan Murray to figure that out.
Yeah, as we said, 35 is not horrible, but when you are coming down from 41, it's a little glaring.
Right, it's glaring. Right, it's exactly. Now, if he started off at 36%, you know, coming in as a rookie, it's like, all right, we got some things to work with. But, yeah, that drop, 5-point drop is just too much.
Larry joins us on Sacktown Sports. Hey, Larry, you're on with Drapes and Whitey. What's up?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up, man?
Well, my thinking was that when we're playing all these teams here in the West, and the West is loaded, they're a lot taller and stronger than us. So I thought about moving Keegan to the 2 spot, bringing in Thibault at the 3 and bringing Grant at the 4. That would give you a lot of offense, but also defense, and let Murray take a step back and not, to go after the number 1 defender, but it'll be the number 2 defender on the team. But that would make us taller and give us strength in the offense and the defense. That was just my thoughts.
Thank you, Larry. I was talking to somebody downstairs today about the Kings, and they said the same thing. Like, we need length. That's why this person was saying, yes, get Brandon Ingram because the Kings need length.
Right, yeah. And I never thought of Keegan as a 2, as a shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Interesting, but I can.
To me, he's a prototypical 3. He's what you want in a 3. And I don't know. You're looking at all these texts that are coming in right now.
A few of them.
633-911-40. You could call us up or hit us up on the text line. Man, there's some spicy ones coming here. You want to go to any of them? I'm looking at them. I'm like,
well, there's a couple that mention you, so it's up to you.
All right.
Or we can just ignore them.
All right. I'll go to 530. Drapes, did you even watch Bill in the playoffs? Oh, man, we just got another one in. Trash. He even missed like 5 dunks. Your guy, Ultimate Kingpin, who goes on to say, don't need another stat padding loser when we already have. I'm not even going to mention this guy. I'm not doing that, Ultimate Kingpin. Here's the thing about Ultimate Kingpin, and you recognize that name.
Yeah.
I think he might have got blocked on the YouTube chat because he was such a troll that now he's on the text line trolling at us. I'm not sure if he got blocked or not, but I used to always see him on the YouTube. Don't be dissing our guys like that. And Bradley Beal, people say, oh, well, he's making $50 million and all. Don't worry about the money. It's not like we can go out. Give me another high-priced player that we can get. They're going to all have some warts. Even my guy, Zach LaVine, is going to have some warts. And so I'm not worried about the money aspect. I'm trying to win basketball games.
From the 916, I think we need to focus on re-signing Monk first and foremost, then look at additions. Obviously, we should start looking at additions via trade if we decide to trade our draft pick, but Monk needs to be a priority. He is, but there's only so much he can do.
Right.
This is what we can do, Malik. Take it or not. There's no more, well, how can we offer more money? There's only like 2 things you can offer.
The offer is already out to Malik.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Right.
Like, Malik already knows what we can offer. The ball is actually in Malik Monk's court.
Yes, sir.
It's not in the Kings' court. It's not in the Kings to try
he's
to
not
come
gonna
up with something.
answer any of your offers till he knows what else is out there.
What else is out there? Exactly. He's going to do a little car shopping, shop around, get a couple of opinions, and then figure it out. And you can walk and chew gum at the same time. The Malik Monk thing is over here in this bucket. We need other things too. But I will say, to this texter's point, if we lose Malik, that changes a lot. Because then you need everything. You need almost everything. You need bench help. You need help at the 4. You need shooting guard help.
Leadership.
You need leadership. You need a lot more. So I think the Malik situation, it's in its own bucket because the Kings already know. And I wonder, are they waiting for that domino to fall? Do they need to wait for that domino to fall to figure out which direction they go?
Mm-hmm. It would certainly be useful to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I'm losing, me personally, I know that you are higher on Zach LaVine than I am. Yeah. I think you're, Jay also is. Me personally, if I lose Malik, I'm like Zach LaVine. I don't know. If I lose Malik, Zach LaVine, come on in. Come on down. I would if you lose Malik. To your point.
Oh, if you lose Malik.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you keep Malik, then you don't need that position.
Then I'm like, I'd rather have Jeremy Grant, but if Malik is gone, Zach LaVine, I will pick you up at the airport.
You gotta get in line because I'm already Ubering there right now. But here's the thing too, Whitey.
I'm sending the car.
You send it. Oh, so all 3 of us are sort of in now on Zach LaVine.
Me and you've been in on Zach.
I think,
Man, and we know the Kings have tried to get him in years past, and I think he would be a perfect fit. I understand the injury situation, but I look at Zach, and I saw him a lot in Chicago. I did play-by-play for a few Bulls games when he was before I got out here. And, the thing about Zach, you talk to people within an organization, great guy, great teammate, but his body language at times did not seem right out there in Chicago. And I think when you put Zach LaVine on a winning team, because I think he knew in Chicago they could only go so far. But you put him on the biggest of stages, going against Steph Curry in the playoffs, going against KD or whoever, I think we'll see the best of Zach LaVine.
Speaking of picking guys up at the airport, Jerry Reynolds used to do that. He did just about everything.
Yeah, everything.
When he was an assistant coach, he told me, and I honestly don't know the player, but he said he went out to pick up some prospect that they were going to work out. And he said the guy wasn't necessarily a Rhodes Scholar, and he picks him up at probably Sac Metro then. And they're driving around, and the guy says, man, there's a lot of California license plates out here.
Dude was shocked, huh? He was like, come on. What, are you expecting Idaho license plates or something?
I don't think the King.
He didn't know we were part of California or what?
Guess. Yeah, a lot of California license plates out here. So
I tell you what, man, I would love people to call in 916-339-1140 because people are getting a little bold on our text line right now. 916. Malik Monk disappeared just as much as Keegan. Pull up his stats like you did Keegan. Come on, man. Malik Monk, not the number 4 overall pick. Malik Monk's a bench player. What more do we want from him? I thought he had a fantastic season. And so the guys are taking shots out there, and I'm just not liking it right now, man.
Yeah. I like it.
You like it? You okay with it?
I'm okay. They're not really taking that many shots at me yet.
That's why.
I'm sure that's coming. But, people are – this is a challenging time here.
Can I squeeze this in right quick? Because, somebody questioned my basketball acumen, the 916. They did come back and say, Kyle, you've just said like 3 new things that have revived your basketball acumen. And he put his name on it, Devin the Dude. I'm still not with you on Brad Beal, though, he says. All right, Devin, at least you put your name on it. Appreciate that.
Yeah, finding some common ground here. Our series of exit interviews with Sacramento media members continues. The great Antonio Harvey from the AP joins us next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at upsizematters.com. That's upsizematters.com.
Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattle Vents.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats!
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions. 66355.
Sacktown Sports.
Before we continue with the Kings conversation, may I share with you a baseball note?
Yeah, please do.
The Oakland Athletics have defeated the Pirates today 4-0 for their first series sweep in their last 18 series.
Wow. So that's a 4-game winning streak right now?
And the Mariners lost today, so like you said, you got to check the standings now because who knows how long you'll be able to. That would, I believe, move the A's within, and I think they're at
2.5. Yeah.
How about that?
2.5. Wow. And how about this? 3 ahead of the Angels and 3.5 ahead of the Astros. Now's the time to scoreboard watch and standings watch. Can they sustain this? I mean, we're a month into the season. We're a month plus into the season, big fella. I know it's a small sample size, but that's impressive. Congrats, man.
Yeah. So they're 15-17, and the Giants are 14-16.
Wow.
And the A's payroll is probably like $47 or something.
Wow. And so the Giants are 14-16. And you said, think about this.
Got a ways to go yet.
If the A's were in the NL West, they'd be second place, just behind the Dodgers. Still a long way to go. But this is a great start for them, man. Good for them. Good for the players I'm talking about.
I don't know if they have that up yet, but I'm wondering how many people were at the at the Yard today, it's pretty dismal. Sometimes on TV, there's only so much they can do, but they'll show the angle of the dugout, kind of a tight angle, so that you can't see.
Right. You got to push in
But
there.
everyone knows now. There's really nothing to hide. Everyone knows there's no one there.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm going to see if I can find the attendance out there. Still don't have it yet, but against the Pirates at that, they're going to draw them in, I would imagine. So maybe 2,000, 3,000, something like that.
Maybe checking the box here.
You know what's upsetting about this, though, Whitey? Can I get on my soapbox real quick as we wait for Antonio Harvey?
I got your attendance.
You already got it? Yeah, what you got?
Official 4,679.
Okay, all right. More than I expected.
Me too.
But this start by the A's, I was just thinking, man, I should go to a game. Then I remembered who the owner is, the situation at hand, and it's like, I don't want to. I don't want to support John Fisher. I don't want to go down there. But this A's team is actually pretty decent right now. Now would be the time to go to a game. I'm looking at their schedule coming up right here. I mean, they just wrapped up against the Pirates. Then they got the Marlins, then the Rangers coming in. That'd be a good series to go to, the Rangers series next week. But I don't want to support the ownership group down there.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but me personally, I'm hoping to get down there at least a couple times.
You want to go check them out?
I don't want to support the owner, but if this is it in Oakland,
yeah,
I've been going to A's games since I was 7 years old,
No, you're right. You're right. I'm looking at their schedule. I may have to make a trip down there because when I take the kids, man, we usually have a good time. Easy to get in, easy to get out. And the kids just like the experience. So I might go down there for a series or check out a game or two.
Yeah. That place was actually, once they put in the football bleachers, Mount Davis, it's like, ugh. But Jay, do you remember what it was like there before they had that? And they had the ice plant out there.
Yes.
And you could see the Oakland Hills. It was nice.
It was nice, huh?
Nice view. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go check them out.
When I was going to check out Terry Steinbach.
Oh, you going back? Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Little Mike Bordick.
Yeah. Woo, he could pick it. Yeah. Anyway, the A's winning today. Yeah, over the Pirates. And I think that's the first time the Pirates have been in Oakland since 2016.
Really?
Yeah, because of weird, interleague play. They don't come out here much.
Right,
And I guess that's it.
Okay.
I mean, if we're
Last time,
that's it. Yeah. So we have our guest.
Yeah, he's on YouTube with us.
All right. Yes. Legendary reporter for the Associated Press. Our Kings media exit interviews continue with Antonio Ray Harvey. Tony, how are you today? Some technical issues. We apologize.
Yeah, Tony, you got us, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got to upgrade the wireless, bro. You on that 3G, big fella. You got to upgrade, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, sorry about that. It is a little bit of a delay, probably perhaps on my side, but how you guys doing this mid-afternoon?
We're doing great. We're just talking about the fact that the A's won today, but of course we wanted to talk to you about your thoughts on this Kings season. At what point, Tony, did you start to think this year's Kings maybe we're not going to be as successful as last year's team?
Ooh, man. It was after a loss when I figured it out. I was like, oh, man, you guys looking like a playoff play-in team, and this team is built to make the playoffs. Now, I think it was a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it may have been that Chicago game, and you guys know I'm from that area anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the two games out the season that is hard to watch because I am a Chicago Bulls fan. But I think that at that point I was like, yeah, I know it was a different dynamic, it was a different situation. Chicago, they was missing a few people, but it was just the way the Kings were losing at the time. Squandering these significant leads. Of course, there's no league, that can't be held in the NBA, but it was a certain time that I felt that the Kings, they were there, but just the way they lost. I mean, they were looking, they'd be losing by 20 points, and then it's like, okay, still can win this game, but then it goes from bad to worse. So I think around that time, what really disgusted me was the game in Washington, D.C. in the district.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just felt like, that game that they lost, which was on the road, to me, it just looked like, the Wizards were just playing basketball. It just looked like they were trying to win that game, and eventually they did win that game. But I would say, what was that? Maybe the end of January, early February, maybe February the 7th, something like that. No, February 7th is when they lost to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that team was the worst team in the league. And then later on, 6 weeks later, Detroit and Washington, they kind of swapped positions. And Detroit was the worst team in the league, and then the Kings lose to them. This is like, man, you guys been playing like a playing team, and I didn't. I'm always saying, prove me wrong, Sacramento Kings. And they just never did. I mean, yeah. I would say at that point around that Chicago game that they lost here, when Jaime Jaquez went off on them, and I was like, yeah, they're going to be struggling from here on out. But at least they did pick it up after the All-Star break, as we see the defense did get a little bit better. But as you can see what the results is, the way the playoff is shaking out right now. I mean, the 6, 7, and 8 seed, boom, quick, poof, they're gone. So
yeah,
this is what we have to deal with right now.
Tony, do you think it was a roster construction issue for the Kings this season, or was it guys underachieved, or the injuries? What can you pinpoint? Does Monte McNair need to upgrade the roster? Are we really the 9th best team in the Western Conference?
Well, Kyle, I think you said all three of them, with the roster, the injuries. I think all those things kind of come into play. And number one, just a run back. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. We could look at it in hindsight and say, hey, I couldn't have did it, this deep, after the season. But if you look at the Western Conference, and bravo to the Western Conference, I mean, they brought it. A lot of teams just got better, and the Kings were pretty much, set in their ways and want to, continue with those guys. And I understand, they broke the drought last season, and they were rewarded for it. But I just think that coupled with the injuries, with a Herter and Malik, being out, it really hurt their chances this season. That really, I thought that they could advance, without those things in play.
Tony Ray Harvey with us from the Associated Press. Wondering, I know you spend a lot of time with the players. What's your best guess on Malik? Do you think he stays, or do you think Malik goes?
Wow. Of course, I don't want that young man to go. I mean, he brought so much energy into this town, into the city. I hadn't seen any that type of reception, from the crowd, at least from the 6-man position since Bobby Jackson. And no disrespect to Bobby, one of the classiest people you ever want to meet, but Malik was just on a higher level with that. I really was disgusted, disappointed in him not, receiving the 6-man award. You go 2 seasons and you have the most points coming off the bench, and you get denied like that. I think that's a pretty much slap in the face of Malik Monk, and it's definitely a slap in the face of the Sacramento Kings fans and the organization. I'm afraid that he may walk. I hate to say that, but if they can pull some strings and hold on to him, if Malik is about 2 or 3 years behind on his rookie contract. The situation, coming out of Charlotte. He had that 1-year deal in L.A., and then, he comes out here, he comes up north here to Northern California. He shows up and he shows out. He's trying to get back on track. He's trying to recoup some of the finances that he lost, and I don't blame him. You want to take care of your family. You want that generational wealth. You want to be taken care of well into your years. And De'Aaron Fox, he pretty much explained that after the New Orleans Pelican loss in the play-in. Hey, this is a business, and this man has to make a decision. So I really think that, if a team, it's going to be a bidding war. That's the way I feel about it. I really think that it's a team that, can make the right presentation for him. I know he wants to be in the right situation. He's going to take it. But if Monty and Wes can do anything, pull any type of strings, hey, keep this man on the roster. He's that valuable. I think everyone knows that. The league definitely knows that. I sit in these press rooms and I listen to these other reporters from opposing teams. This ain't no joke. I mean, if these reporters are interested in Malik Monk and what he can do for the ball clubs that they're working to beat for, that means a lot. I hope they can keep him, folks. Kyle and Kev, I really do.
Hey, Tony, let's continue that conversation because I think the feeling is if we lose Malik, then we're going to take a big time step back. We saw the last 10 games without Malik how much this team struggled. Just put into words the impact of losing Malik would mean, and can we overcome that? Are there other guys we can go out there and get that can take Malik's place? Or is our season dependent on making sure we keep this guy?
Yeah, well, he's as we found out, he's definitely unique to Mike Brown and his coaching staff system with his playmaking skills, which I didn't realize that he had until he got here. But he explained that right off the bat. His first season here in training camp, and then certainly we found out about that. We're definitely going to miss a lot of that. Those big time shots. Him touching the paint. Him with those pocket passes to Sabonis. His defending. I mean, he was a great shot blocker. I think he was leading the team in blocks at one point, if he's not still the leader in blocks. So that's definitely going to be a big hit that the system, that free-flowing system that the Sacramento Kings have is going to miss on both ends of the floor. Can he be replaced? There's some serviceable guys out there right now who can come in here. They're not going to be able to do the things that Malik Monk. I understand that, but they do have a certain set of skills that they could contribute, to this ball club. I mean, I know you guys probably been talking about Bradley Beal. I love Bradley Beal. He's only about 30, 31 years old. But man, I'm looking at this hip. I'm looking at this knee. I'm looking at this wrist. I'm looking at this broken nose. I'm talking about injuries. I don't know. Okay, me personally, somebody like a DeMar DeRozan, who's about 33 or 34 years old. He's coming off an $81 million three-year deal with Chicago Bulls. I think he can come in. We know what he can do in that fourth quarter, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. That would be a big missing piece with Malik Monk. That fourth quarter, you need somebody who's going to be out there on that floor to help out DeMontis and Darren and these type of people. Kevin Durant too. He's got a high price tag. I mean, he's a little long in the tooth. He can come in. He can fill in that spot too. The world's not going to end if Malik Monk leave. And of course, I don't want him to leave. There are definitely some other players out there who could come in here and contribute to this ball club.
Antonio Harvey's been covering the Kings for a long time. We're getting his end of season, his exit review here, exit interview on the Kings. Tony, I want to ask you a simple question about Keegan Murray. We talked about a lot of the players that the Kings could get. If the Kings asked you, would Keegan still be untouchable? Would you say, nope, I am not trading Keegan under any circumstances this offseason? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, in my opinion, Keegan Murray is untouchable. He pretty much surprised me this year too, and we all know what he did. With that 3-point shooting, his perimeter shooting during his rookie year. But I think we were all expecting, this expectation that he would be doing that at a higher clip. Well, no, he comes in, then we learned that Mike Brown and his coaching staff has instituted a plan for him to be a two-way player on defense. He's a really good defense. I mean, he was holding the best. I like that leap that he took. I think his shooting will come back around next season too, because he did say some things during his exit interview that kind of stood out too. Other teams, opposing teams, were playing them differently and stuff, but he's just so much of a valuable asset, to this organization. He's still young. I think there's still other ceilings that he can hit. His defense is coming along. I think he can get much better. He could be one of the better defensive players in this league as well as De'Aaron Fox too. But I just would not put him on the table right now in exchange for anything. I love that kid.
Man, you said anything, Tony. I mean, what do we need from the young fella then going forward? Like, we're talking about winning the championship here, Tony, not just making the play. What do we need from Keegan Murray this upcoming season?
Probably need to work on trying to developing, create more shots for himself. Up the ante, in on the aggressive end, be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end. Which he did, he showed a lot of that this season. But he just got to take charge and demand the ball a little bit more. I think he's going to be okay on defense. Another thing that I kind of spotted too, when Keon Ellis was inserted into the starting lineup, took a lot of pressure off Keegan too, because I remember Keon mentioned at one point in the game against Golden State, they're trying to contain Stephen Curry, and something happened. I think Keegan had picked up a foul, and then Jordy Fernandez was like, "Okay, Keon, you take Stephen right now." So those type of things, it takes a lot of pressure off of him too, things like that. And I want to keep that. I want to keep that going. Of course, we do know Keegan. There's still room for growth, and there's still. I believe it's going to be there. When we were listening to those exit interviews, I understand that these guys, they're going to go out there and take care of business. I mean, I remember last season, with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, said what they were going to work on during the offseason, and they came back and they improved. They got better, So I believe whatever needs to be done, with that coaching staff, and I know Mike Brown, will lay down the law, and we'll happen with Keegan, and he will see some other aspect to his game by training camp.
Antonio Ray Harvey with us, of course, longtime reporter here, supports the show, supporter of great music, as you may know. He supports some of my efforts, which I appreciate. I want to ask you this. We focus so much on what did not happen, what didn't go right, but there were some positives this year. Domas, of course, a double-double streak. Keon, you mentioned Keon. The defense was better. If you had to pick, Tony, one thing where you'd say that was the most positive thing about the Kings all year, be it player or coach or system or anything, what to you was the most positive thing, the biggest positive thing that came out of this season?
Well, I know I keep talking about this all the time. It was a couple seasons ago. I think, Cal, you probably started at the time. And, after the season was over, Monty McNair comes out, and he had a really disappointed, disgusted look on his face. And he was talking about that defense was going to get better. Well, now we're at that point. What I liked about this season, it was slowly coming, but you could see it coming. If you covered it as long as we have, practices and the games, etc. When they're on the road, that defense got much, much, much better. Way much better. Everything that they talked about, they pretty much did it. They did execute. I would say, with the deflections, the physicality, the verticality, the steals, the blocks, the double team, the blitzes, they did all of that. They could continue that little surge that they had after the All-Star break going into next season for the next 82 games. I think they'll be in good shape, and they will make that deep run into the playoff next season. But I was really impressed how that defense came along. These things don't happen overnight, but they worked it. Mike Brown, his coaching staff, the players as well, they worked it, and they were getting there. And we've seen a lot of that happen too. Takes a little while, especially when you're trying to do it as a system, trying to get all the players to buy in. But they started to buy in, and I bought in. That defense is going to get better as well.
Tony, before we wrap up here, man, just, one final look at the landscape of the West. And I hear you preaching patience and everything like that. And, it's going to get there and all that. But I'm looking at all these young teams. I mean, we talked about the top of the West, but look at the teams behind us, the Houstons of the world, the San Antonios. Utah might make some moves. How do you attack this offseason knowing that it's sort of an arms race out here in the Western Conference?
Kyle, you're right. It might be a repeat of this year as far as how tight it is in the arms race. Everybody jockeying for a position, going straight up, right off the bat next season. I was kind of surprised about Utah. I thought they would do a little bit better, and I think they will. I think Will Hardy's a fine coach, so I know they got some little issues, personnel issues going on there as far as keeping people in the lineup and keeping them healthy. But that's going to be one of those teams that you have to watch out. We already seen what Houston can do. They were trying to make a push toward the end of the season as well, and we know what they did with the Sacramento Kings. So I would expect the West to be just about as competitive as it was, or even more, going into to next season. But like I said, hey, salute to the Western Conference, man. I think whatever happens is going to come out of the Western Conference, but they brought it. I mean, the seventh, New Orleans Pelicans finished seventh with 49 wins. They almost had 50 wins, and they finished in seventh. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The West. I can't even get it out right now. But I do expect a more tight, evenly Western Conference going into next season too. It's going to be just that competitive.
Well, one of the sad things about the season being over. Yeah. We were talking about this with the G-Man yesterday. We don't get to hang out with you now until the season starts again, or we get some functions out there. So thanks for all the fun we had this year. Watching the games, and thanks for your time. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you again soon. Tone, have a great summer.
Hey, you guys are great. We got the draft coming up, and then first we got the lottery, then we got the draft coming up. There's still a lot of content, that we're still working on in the off season. At least I am, and I know that you guys are. So anytime, you need a voice, I'm definitely always available during the summertime. And thanks to working with you this season as well, Kevin. I know this is your first go around. Kyle, we've been in it for a few years and stuff like that. I always appreciate your professional work too.
My guy. Appreciate you, Tony.
Thanks, Tone.
Peace out.
All right, bro.
From the Associated Press. By the way, when he was talking about the defense, I was just remembering that play-in game against the Warriors. And I know that, maybe it was matchup specific. I don't know. But the Warriors looked like they did not know what was going on. They did not expect to see the Kings playing, pressuring the ball like that, playing that kind of defense.
Yeah, that physicality, I thought caught them off guard, right? Yeah, it was like, we didn't prepare for this, Coach. This wasn't in the scouting report.
They're not supposed to do that.
Right, exactly. It was a different Kings team than what we saw earlier in the season, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Tony thinks Malik is gone. If Malik goes, how do you replace him? A sex with the drive, guys. We'll also look back 1 year ago yesterday when the Kings season ended against the Warriors. It's coming up with the drive, guys, on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts report at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-higher rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
What's the room again?
1240 down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie.
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity.
We're going to the city?
Authenticity.
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/SacktownSports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to amp up your summer with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an incredible lineup. First up, on May 24th, don't miss Tribal Seeds as they bring their reggae beats to Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. And mark your calendars for June 8th when NF takes the stage at the Golden One Center. Visit livenation.com for tickets. And don't miss out on the California State Fair summer lineup. On July 15th, experience Queen Nation, a tribute to Queen. Catch Flo Rida on July 23rd, Bush on July 24th, and the ultimate throwback with a 90s rewind show on July 29th, featuring Tone Loc, CNC Music Factory, and Digital Underground. Looking ahead to August 4th, get ready for the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, presented by Live Nation. It's a star-studded event featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. The Sacktown Sports live events calendar, your ultimate playbook for the best shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets. Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com. Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. Playing this week, The Fall Guy, the IMAX experience.
Tom Ryder, the biggest action star on the planet, is missing. You need to bring him back.
Treat yourself to a refreshing action movie filled with laughs and chemistry starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento and reserve your seat today. And don't miss The Fall Guy this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We have some interesting broadcast news for you. Awful Announcing every year, they do a survey of the local NBA broadcasts. Then they have rankings. And Kyle Draper informs me that this year's rankings are out.
Yeah, I just noticed this. Just came out today. And they have the breakdown of each team's NBA announcers. And your Sacramento Kings broadcast team came in 10th.
That's not bad, but you got to do better.
A little lower than I was thinking.
Yeah. Let me see who they got as one.
But the tough part about that is because you are a trio, do they factor in all 3 or do they just how does that work?
That's a great question. They list me and Mark and Katie. So I'm not sure, how they broke it down or did they look at certain games or whatever, but we're 10th. I'm not sure where we were last year. The Knicks are number 1.
Mike Breen and Walt Frazier.
Clyde Frazier. Yeah, it's hard to go against them, man. Those two are legends.
Who fills in for Breen? Alan Hahn?
Yeah, is it Alan? No, is it Kenny Alberts or no? Who does it?
Kenny doesn't do basketball. He does hockey.
Really? I thought he did.
Yeah, he doesn't do anymore.
He don't do basketball anymore
this year.
I'm not sure who fills in for Breen. We just saw them. Brooklyn Nets are second.
Is that Iron Eagle?
That's Iron Eagle, Ryan Rucco, and Noah Eagle. Yeah, they got the whole.
Who's that? Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson and Sarah Kustok. Vince Carter fills in. How about our boy Antonio Daniels in the New Orleans Pelicans?
Joel Myers.
At 3. Joel Myers is amazing.
Joel Myers.
He got the best voice.
Smoothie King Center.
His voice is amazing. They're 3. Chicago Bulls, Stacey King, friend of show, and Adam Amin are number 4. Eric Collins and Del Curry, Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte.
Number 5, yeah. They do a great job. Timberwolves, our boy Michael Grady and Jim Peterson. Fantastic job.
Jim Peterson, former King.
Yep. They're at 6. The Memphis Grizzlies, as bad of a season as they were, to still get a nod from Brevin Knight, who's, former Stanford star.
Right.
And Pete over there.
They just had to get them in because they've had to have so much content to cover up the basketball. That's why they've jumped up, fellas.
They got hazard pay, hazard vote. You got to put up with that team for that. The Clippers, Brian Seaman and Mike Fratello, Jim Jackson, 8, and right before us, the Dallas Mavericks with Mark Followell, Derek Harper, Devin Harris. So do I need to get into the bottom of the list?
Yes.
Oh,
always. You know that.
Can
If
I
you
ask
don't want to do it, I'll do it.
Who's right behind you?
Oh,
who's like 11, 12?
Who's 11, 12 right behind? Yeah, I got that for
Just
us.
for some perspective.
Right here.
You're right there with some really good ones.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Those are some luminaries. 11, Miami Heat, Eric Reed and John Crotty. Eric Reed's a veteran, man.
Yes,
he's a pros
Been
pro
around for a long time.
Yeah, he's great. And then number 12, our boy Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd. Calabro is a legend.
Yes.
So,
used to do the Sonics.
Yeah, Sonics in their heyday,
and then
right?
he could have gone with them to do the Thunder, and he said, nope,
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, so now he's doing Portland.
Yeah, he stays up there in the Pacific Northwest. Scott Hastings and Chris Marlowe are at 13th.
At Denver?
Yeah, Denver. Yeah, so
Scott Hastings, also a friend of the show.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me go down the list here at the bottom half. Number 30, drum roll, please. And this guy is my guy. Kalena Azubuike and Bob Fitzgerald, the Golden State Warriors.
Ooh.
Wow. Most common score, F.
Oh, that's tough. That's sticking the knife.
This is from presumably local fans who are just sharing their views of each of the broadcasts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now it's changed with League Pass. Obviously,
right.
Even the local crews are exposed nationally.
Like myself. And on NBA TV, remember, fellas?
Yeah.
You guys will get NBA TV calls as well.
Right. Yeah, these are fan voting. Most common score, F. The last time they did this, I guess it's been a while since they did this. 2016.
Oh,
the Warriors were ranked 14th.
That's when they had Jim Barnett still doing the game.
Yeah.
And I think Barnett does a little radio, right? Didn't he kick over to the radio last year?
Yeah,
and
they
does it
kind
a little
of
bit.
Moved his role's gotten, and he's a great guy. But yeah, over the last few years, his role has diminished a little bit.
I think that's part of it, though, right? When you have legendary guys who've been around for decades, and I think, and it remind me if I'm wrong, White, when they kind of pushed Barnett out, there was some upheaval. There was some chatter down in the Bay about that, right?
I did some post-game radio stuff with him right after that, and he was really nice about it. I don't think he really was crazy about it, but he understood. But we did some of the pre and post game at the arena, the brand new arena, and people just, Jim Barnett, people loved him.
Yeah.
Warrior fans and still love, as they should, Jim
Oh,
Barnett.
yeah. I still
great
see,
guy.
people still talk about Jim Barnett and bring Jim back and everything like that. 29th, the Sixers, Kate Scott, Northern California native, and Ala Abdel Nabi.
Former Sacramento King.
Yeah, Ala. 28th, Chris Miller and Drew Gooden with the Wizards.
Okay.
27th, this would be interesting. And I think I understand why. The Boston Celtics, Mike Gorman and Brian Scalabrine. And here's why. They take homerism to a different level. Like it's same way as Fitz and Kalina.
That's what,
And I think fans, if you're watching on League Pass, you don't want to hear that, especially if you're a fan of an opposing team. And so, back in 2016, when it was Mike Gorman and Tommy Heinsohn, they were 20th. And 2020, they did this as well, 26th.
Gorman's done, right?
Yeah, this is his last year. This is it.
Could be his last game tonight.
This could be it. It's interesting. You asked me previous rankings of Bob and Kalena. In 2020, they were 27th. So they went from 14th in 2016 with Jim Barnett, 27th in 2020.
2020 was a terrible year for the Warriors, too.
Yeah, it was.
15
right?
and 55.
Yeah, with the injuries and all that. So, that's I want to see our previous scores because somebody asked me, granted, Jerry, in 2016, we were 3rd. In 2020, we were 10th. So,
okay.
Yeah,
right there.
Right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, man, that's some news I just got.
Good.
While searching X.
Now, do you take that? The question becomes now, Drapes, do you take that to the bosses at NBC Sports and down at the Kings and say,
The people have spoken, right? Here it is, right here.
Top 10, baby.
I got to be top 6, top
Okay,
5, something like that, man. But we're growing, man. We're growing and, developing more chemistry with Katie.
Top
and
third of the league.
Yeah, I'll take that. And I take specific pride in that, fellas. Let me, toot my own horn. Mark only did like 27, 28 games this year.
I don't think he qualified for
right. That's what I'm
awards.
saying. That's what I'm saying. He, the NBA minimum, he didn't reach it, and so I think I did 47 or 48. So I'm gonna take credit for most of that top 10, And Katie should feel great, man. She did them all and does a phenomenal job. So
yeah. Do you remember when you were on the floor talking to Isaiah Thomas?
Oh yeah, my guy. Yeah.
Mark Jones came by that day, and when you were down on the floor, and he came by, and he was so, I didn't even know he knew who I was.
Oh, did he?
And he was so nice. He came by on his own.
When you were on the floor, or
when I was up? When you were down.
When I was down.
And he was really nice. I just really appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So
you're still my guy, though, right? I mean, I'm just saying. All right. Don't get any
I'm just saying,
bright ideas
we're
over there.
joking and everything, but I really appreciate the both of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. When we come back, how do the Kings replace if he goes Malik Monk? And we'll look back at a year ago yesterday. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Kettleman's.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Oh, that'll work. Be funky. You know what I'm saying?
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Well, this is going to be fun. Just a moment, we're going to check out some old box scores.
Have we reached that point of the season? Like the year?
I've been dying to get to this point.
Scores.
I've been dying to get to this point of the season. Before we do, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR has been hanging on. What's up, JR? How you doing today?
What's up, young man? How are you?
Good. What's up? What's up?
Drapes, you're eligible for the playing game.
Oh, hey, man, I'll take that, big fella. And trust me, I will show up for the playing game. I will show up.
You got to win 2 in a row and then get into the finals. But, hey, you deserve it. And love Mark, but we all know he's a mercenary. He's kind of what Kevin Durant, just goes where he gets paid. So,
and I'm Steph Curry. Is that what you're saying? I'm Steph Curry.
I'm a little sick of Steph Curry. You're Domas.
David West.
Yeah,
right.
You're Domas. You are good for a double every night, and I mean that there. And then of course when you go home for in and out, all that.
Yeah.
But you and Katie do a great job. You really do. We really, really enjoy you guys. So that's a fan telling you when I can't be there live at the game. Love to hear you.
Appreciate that.
Calling the game, and of course, G-Man was on yesterday. No disrespect to you, Trace. He stands for God. Yeah, he stands for God.
God,
G-Man.
go, whatever,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, go God. Anyway, all good there. Whitey, wow, that's so funny. You're going to talk box score. Are we going to talk Padres and Giants yet? Where are we going with that young man? Go ahead and bring James up to speed on a little no-cal, so-cal rivalry there.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds it.
When it's appropriate to do so. We were talking more about the A's today, JR, because the A's won again.
Yeah, hottest team in baseball. Well, second hottest.
Closing in on the first place Mariners.
Hey, the Sacramento A's. Love it. Let's do it. But yeah, let's see who has more wins this year, Padres or Giants. There we go. That's been set. Bye-bye.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, it's so weird when he calls in and he says like nice stuff about you because I'm waiting
always
for him to get the dagger out, you know. And he's like, you're just great.
I was waiting for the same thing. I was sitting there thinking, all right, prepare yourself, Grapes. He's about
to going to be an Eagles or what's he going to? Oh, you're great.
You know what it is? So JR is my guy now.
That's nice.
I acknowledged him in public, so that made his day. It made his life. So he's on my side now. So
That's
we're all good.
That's good.
You know?
All right, now here we go. You know how I love box scores. It was a year ago yesterday that the season ended. I don't mean to dredge up painful memories. I know I just gave the box to Jay. And here's yours.
Oh, you really got it a box score too for me?
April 30th. This is when Game 7 was a year ago yesterday. Warriors ending the Kings season. Where do you think the Kings are right now compared to where they were on that day? And what, if anything, jumps out at you about Jay? What jumps out to you from this box score?
The very first thing I see, fellas, is I'm looking at a veteran here at the bottom, and that would be the home Sacramento Kings. The very first line position at forward. I look to the right and I see 4 points from Harrison Barnes.
Jay.
And then I go down.
Hold on.
No,
Jay.
no, hold on,
bro. Don't need no box score, Jay. That's terrible. You're a box score watcher, right? You going to talk about a guy that played 13 minutes? Look at the minutes played, Jay.
Then I go down to the fourth person. That would be our starting shooting guard. It just says guard there. That'd be Kevin Herter, who played 28 minutes. And I look to the right and I see 7. Then I look to the left, which is plus or minus. I got negative 20 on both of their lines.
Wow. All right. Well, okay.
See, that's the problem. See, Jay, you know, he's just looking at a box score.
Well, that's what
that's what I gave him. I asked him to look at it.
You're right. All right, let me piece mine back together here. Let me anybody got any tape? Let me piece mine back. All right. What stands out to me, and you guys could talk about Harrison Barnes, Jay. You could talk about Kevin Herter, but I look at De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I was going there too.
I look at 5 of 19, 3 of 10, and I know he was banged up. But in an elimination game, if your star player only gives you 16 points, you are not going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Elimination games are about the superstars. The stars got to be stars. Steph Curry was a star in that day. Steph Curry took 38 shots. He was going to do whatever it takes to win that game. He was going to go down swinging. So that's what stands out to me. Not the Domas 22. I'm not looking for Harrison Barnes in Game 7 to give me 25 or 30. He played 13 minutes and change. I'm looking at De'Aaron Fox 16 and our inability to knock down shots. 12 of 47 from three-point range, 25.5%. You're not going to win if you don't make shots.
In some ways, this was a preview of some of the problems that were to come this year.
This season, right?
Yeah, look at we know the Kings love to play fast, right? Look at fast break points in that game. Warriors none, Kings 2. And I think this is one reason what the Kings went through in that series. Why Mike Brown last year was like, the way we won last year, we can't win that way in the playoffs. You can't win that way. And that's why he was emphasizing defense as much as he did this year. And then another thing is, I mean, look at some of the guys that played for the Kings. Terrence Davis had 14 off the bench.
Yeah, TD.
Right? PJ Dozier had 5. And the Kings were winning at halftime. How about that?
Well, it's the third and fourth quarter, but third quarter.
Game 7, and they were winning at halftime.
Mm-hmm. Winning at halftime. And then Steph Curry happened. And it was a generational performance from Steph. But really, you're up at halftime at home of Game 7. You got to find a way to win that game. And so I look at the shooting numbers. I look at the offensive rebounds, 18 off. Kevon Looney had 10 offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
That killed us. That's
Ray,
the
look
game.
over to the right. Total
21 rebounds.
I know. You almost forget it, right? I know he dominated on the board, but I forgot he had 21 rebounds.
And you know what sticks out to me? Domantas Sabonis had 8. So that tells me that Looney dominated the rebounding against Domas.
Yeah.
If Domas had 15, 16, okay.
And Domas had a good game.
He had a nice game, but his inability to keep Looney off the offensive glass, and I got to go back and watch it, because the box score would suggest that Domas didn't do a good job boxing out Looney. But maybe Domas was switched out on Curry, where they trapped, like maybe he had to help and was out of position. That's something your box score can't tell you. But you can't have Kevon Looney, who can't even get off the bench this season, dominate you like he did. 11 points, 21 rebounds last season.
Looney was a master like from the foul line of almost like a baseball center fielder catching the long missed threes. At the foul line. His athleticism,
his ability to track him down.
Yeah. But the other thing to me is, I know I just mentioned Terrence Davis and PJ Dozier, but you look at the Kings, it's pretty much the same team that they are now.
Right, exactly. And they're depending on the same guys.
Yeah.
And, one thing when you look at Kevin Huerter, the 2 of 9, 7 points, I was looking at his numbers from this season. He shot a career low from 3-point range.
Mm-hmm.
And so that leads me to believe, guys, that this past season that we just had was an outlier. Is Kevin Huerter going to shoot career low numbers next season? Is Harrison Barnes going to be, I think he will because he's 5th or 6th guy. But, Keegan Murray, will his shooting numbers be as bad? I don't think so. And so I look at this and say, you know what? We're actually a little bit closer to this team last year like we were this past season. I know. This box.
Now it's Jay.
I'm sorry.
Jay just pushed you over the
No,
brink.
because the first thing Jay notices, Harrison Barnes, 4 points. Jay, come on, bro.
No,
is that what you're doing,
I was
man?
trolling a little bit. I was trolling. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? Honestly, fellas, the very first thing when I looked at this paper, and of course, natural instincts are to go top to bottom, right?
Right.
The very first thing I really looked at, and it kind of made me smile inside, attendance. And right next to it said sellout. 18,253 announced attendance. And I know, Drapes, me and you had we were blessed to have the opportunity to be there. It was electric. And even though, the Kings didn't come out with the victory, just to be a part of that as an adult for me, not being an adult since the last time, the Kings were good. I really, I cherish those 4 games. Like I got to go to all 4 games, in the playoffs. And so that was the very first thing I looked at. And then the next thing for me was Steph Curry. I mean, 50 points is amazing.
50 points.
Man.
He got him up 38 shots, 18 threes he took. And the fact that he only went to the line 5 times, you would think you score 50. All right, he's going to get 15, 16 free throws. No, but I will say this, Whitey, as we continue here on the drive, guys. The difference between last season and this season.
Look at Mr. TV with the reset, by the way.
You like that, right? You like that? I know, as we continue on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a trained professional, big fella. This is what I do.
10th best in the league right now. And moving on up, brother.
10th best in the league. I like that, Jay. But no, when you think about it, the way we ended last season in Game 7, there was hope, optimism, all right, we'll be better, a year under our belt, we'll be, more experienced. The feeling this year, however, is much more uncertainty surrounding this franchise and this roster.
You see that? Whitey's way back box score breakdown is a huge hit.
That was pretty good, man. I would say we need more of that. On this day, 20 years ago, we need to pull up the Game 6 against the Lakers, pull that one up, and then relive that, right? And
get careful what you wish for.
Get Rick Fox and those guys on the roster on the phone or something.
You might get bombarded.
If the Kings wait until the next deadline to make the move, are fans going to tolerate that? Would you tolerate that? Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We got so much time to figure this out this Kings off season. And with the smartest minds in radio, among all listenership, I mean, I think we're going to get this done. Just listen to some of these ideas from the 209 trade scenario. Fox, Herter, Barnes, plus the 2 future picks for Giannis. He wants out of Milwaukee.
Does that work in the ESPN trade machine?
I guess. Yeah. The answer you guys are looking for, and I love this one, is Mikal Bridges. If it costs us Keegan, so be it. That's from Nick. I don't know about trading Keegan for Bridges because I'm kind of just swapping out things, but I love Bridges, Mikal Bridges. I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though. Why would Brooklyn do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure unless they decided they needed to retool. If they decided they're stuck, but they might want to move one of those forwards, right? Maybe Cam Johnson. Or him?
I think Cam Johnson might be.
I like Cam Johnson a lot too.
I gotta look at his money. Yeah, contract. What's his contract?
They just re-signed him last summer.
Did they?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And they offered him a lot of money. I think they kind of overpaid.
And he's already 28. Jeez. He's already 28.
But I'm with you as far as Bridges. Yeah, it's interesting. It's easy to say, that team could use him. That team could use him. Why would you?
But let me ask you this,
Jordy.
Whitey.
Jordy's not going to say,
Yeah, just trade away our best player.
Young,
right,
really good
right.
defender, good shooter. Get rid of him.
I'm looking at Cam Johnson's contract. This upcoming season, 23.6. Next season, 21.5. Then 23.6. So it's one of those.
And that would be 28, 29, 30. So 31.
31. That would be, to me, and he hasn't thrived in Brooklyn like I thought he would, to be honest with you. Only averaged 13.4 points per game, but did knock down 31% from three. Is he
31%?
39%. I'm sorry, 39.1.
How many minutes per game? I'm sorry.
27.6 this year. He took a step back. The year before, he averaged 16.6 points per game and 30.8. But is he a guy that could, take advantage of a bigger role? Yes. You know what I mean? A guy that's, maybe knocking on the door of being good, but then can be that next guy. But I don't know, man. See, here's the problem, Whitey. Does that move you closer to a championship?
I think it does. And I know it's hard to tell from the year he had last year. A year ago, we're just talking about the box score from a year ago when the Kings got eliminated. A year ago, of all the free agents available, that was the guy that I thought would be a great fit for them. But I think he was restricted and they never let him get on the market because he can play both positions. Yeah. He can shoot and he can defend. So to me, it's that simple. If I have a guy who can play both forward positions and he can shoot and he can defend, I think he makes me better.
Let me ask you this, though, because here's my issue I'm having with a guy like Cam Johnson, or really whoever we bring in. What's the prototype that we want to fit next to Keegan and Domas? Do we want a Bobby Portis type, 6'10", can rebound,
defend? Great question. I'm not sure.
Or do we want a scoring?
Want some length.
Yeah,
it's a great question.
Or is Cam Johnson a carbon copy of Keegan Murray? Are we having 2 6'8" guys again, or are we looking more at a 6'10" guy to start?
You know where it gets complicated then is, okay, well, who's my two guard? If my two guard is still Keon, which maybe it won't be, but then I can't afford to have a 4 who is not offensive, right?
Yeah.
So it gets a little complicated there.
You know what I would do? And let me look at this guy. I just mentioned it.
But Keon's not going to be my starter at 2.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think in an ideal world he's your starter at 2. But you know what I would do if I'm Monty McNair? I would pick up the phone. Man, this guy would be, and I don't know why they would trade him.
Bradley Beal.
No. I would try to get Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis would be the perfect 4 against with Sabonis.
I agree. I was just assuming that he was in no way attainable.
Maybe he's not. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm looking at his money. He's only going to make 12.5 next year, and then has a player option. And so, would you give up a first-round pick for a Bobby Portis? I might do it. He's 29, I think.
Yeah, I would. I can't imagine they would.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah,
just
I know.
I'm not. I don't know if they. But that's the kind of guy I think we need next to Keegan, because if Keegan is going to be our scoring, 3-man, I think we need a rugged 4-man.
You want Cliff Robinson?
I need Uncle Cliffy.
Yeah.
Remember Uncle Cliffy? Yeah, I need Cliff. You know who I would need to a younger Jeff Green type too. Remember Uncle Jeff Green? I mean, somebody like that who doesn't necessarily need 15, 20 shots. That's why a guy like Kyle Kuzma at the forward spot, it doesn't make sense to me. I need a rebounder, a defender, and a guy that can score and knock down shots when called upon.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Green, by the way, I always thought, he got traded. He's going to be really good now. He was on so many teams, and I always thought, watch now because he's skilled, and it never happened.
It never happened, and
he was okay,
right? He was solid. He won a championship with Denver.
Yeah,
he's the kind of guy you need on good teams. I think, doesn't necessarily put up 20 a game or anything, but does all the little things. And so I'm looking at the power forward rankings.
See, to me, it almost sounds like you're coming around whether you want to or not. Back to Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, in a trade. Yeah. Let me ask you this though. What about a guy like Obi Toppin on the free agent market? I think he's restricted, though, so Indiana would match anything. I'm just looking at the potential.
I like
free
him,
agent.
but he doesn't. I don't think he's very good defensively, and he hasn't been a starter.
Yeah,
but he's a good player.
It's slim pickings out there on the free agent market at that position.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't want PJ Tucker. What about a guy like Torrey Craig?
Depth piece.
Kevin Love is available. I don't think he'd come to Sacramento and leave Miami.
I'd rather have Cliffy.
Uncle Cliff, right?
How about this name?
He's no longer with us.
This is something we had a discussion about White yesterday, and someone I was all in on last year before he was traded, Jared Vanderbilt.
He was hurt a lot this year.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Trade to get him. I think I can get a guy who's comparable with my mid-level, and I don't have to trade to get him. Me personally, I don't like him enough to go after him specifically when I have to trade for him. I feel like I can get some comparable on the free agent market.
And he can't knock down the three. That's he doesn't stretch the floor or space open the floor. I think that was one of his issues.
It shoots like 25%.
Yeah. And I think Monty has to thread the needle with this, fellas. Like, you need a bruising, rebounding power forward that can knock down threes. Whoa. I don't know if those grow on
Al
trees.
Horford,
right? That's who we need.
Al
right?
Horford.
A young Al Horford. That's exactly who we need. I don't know who else is out there.
Aaron Gordon. That's who you're talking about.
That's who we need.
Really?
That's exactly who we need. And I'm looking at potential free agents. Miles Bridges, Charlotte, going to get way too much.
Miles,
I do,
man.
But he's going to get paid, I think.
You think he's catching $100 million?
He's got some baggage that you don't want to hit your wagon to.
Yeah. So some people are going to
sign.
Strong
PR team.
Right. I don't know if we're ready for that, to handle that, thunderstorm that comes into town. So Bridges, Tobias Harris, not going to take mid-level.
I like him a lot, but he's just,
That's what I'm saying. There's no Patrick Williams, Chicago.
Promising.
Hurt a lot. Right. Everybody got warts, man. That's what I'm saying. There's no easy answer out here. And the question is, if you believe Keegan can be that 20-point per game scorer, then you don't need a stretch, somebody that can score you 17, 18 a night. You need somebody that does the dirty work, helps you on rebounding, helps you in blocking shots. Bobby Portis is the guy.
Oh, he's terrific. By the way, backing up to where one of you just mentioned Aaron Gordon, I think it might have been Jay. That's another thing about watching the Nuggets, and I know you're not a big Nuggets fan, but sometimes people don't realize how good those players are. Michael Porter Jr. is he's assassin. Aaron Gordon is freaking good.
He is good.
It's not like just Jokic and Murray and that's it.
Right. You're right. He is good. And, the thing about he had a big game the other day where he was the leading scorer for their team. People forget. I think he was an all-star one year in Orlando.
Brings the ball down sometimes, and he's a beast on the offensive
elite
glass.
Defender, exactly. Like he's amazing. I think Milwaukee might do something this offseason. And let me throw out another name.
Okay.
You say no to Bobby Portis, right?
I say yes.
But they might not move.
Yeah.
What about Brook Lopez entering the final year of his deal this upcoming season? Might they try to shake things up there in Milwaukee?
So Domas is my 4.
I'm throwing it out there.
I know.
Remember I said we need a shooting big man,
right?
In my opinion, to pair with Domas.
Good defender. Yeah.
All right. See, that could be another name, Kings fans.
Give me both of them.
And
throw in Giannis.
Yeah, give us Giannis too for 2 second-round picks or whatever offer that person threw up there.
Yeah. Why the heck not? And if Malik goes, how do you replace him? Next with the Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. The wind will be diminishing. By morning, our temperatures will be in the low 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild. Look for highs in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, sometimes in sports, you just need a chance. The A's Tyler Nevin had played in just over 100 Major League games when he was acquired by the A's earlier this year. And as April comes to an end, you can make a case he's been their best player, homering 3 times in a 5-game stretch, batting over 300, and also showing his versatility, playing 4 different positions.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Since you probably can't afford your own sports psychologist, Golf Monthly's Fergus Bissett offers 5 golf psychology tips to help you play better. First, stay in the present. If your mind is ahead of you, how can you focus on the shot at hand? Second, every shot is a new challenge. The objective of every shot is to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. Go do it. 3, the past is the past. Many of us dwell on the past. Not good. Clear your mind and move on to the next shot. 4, never surrender. Some give up on their rounds too quickly. Your fortunes on the course can change with one swing or one decent break. Lastly, stay positive on the greens. If you're having one of those days where the putts don't drop, focus on the positives. If you're putting on your intended line, that's a good thing. Keep it up and they'll begin to fall. And remember, it's a game, so go out there and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Sacramento sports fans, get ready to amp up your summer with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an incredible lineup. First up, on May 24th, don't miss Tribal Seeds as they bring their reggae beats to Ace of Spades, presented by Live Nation. And mark your calendars for June 8th when NF takes the stage at the Golden One Center. Visit livenation.com for tickets. And don't miss out on the California State Fair summer lineup. On July 15th, experience Queen Nation, a tribute to Queen. Catch Flo Rida on July 23rd, Bush on July 24th, and the ultimate throwback with a 90s rewind show on July 29th, featuring Tone Loc, CNC Music Factory, and Digital Underground. Looking ahead to August 4th, get ready for the Outlaw Music Festival at the Toyota Amphitheater, presented by Live Nation. It's a star-studded event featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. The Sacktown Sports live events calendar, your ultimate playbook for the best shows and events in town. Stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
So how do you replace Malik Monk if he leaves? Nobody wants him to leave, but, you know, we've had a number of guests on this week as we conduct our media exit interviews, and there's a lot of people who know what they're talking about who say, oh, yeah, I think he's leaving. So you at least got to be prepared for it as a fan emotionally. How do the Kings, if he leaves, what do you do? How do you attempt to replace that?
I don't know, man, because, you know, when you look at Malik, sure, you can replace the 14 points per game, the 5 assists, but you can't replace the spirit of Malik Monk. And I felt like Malik was best when the game was at its brightest, late in games. Sure, he had some games where he struggled a little bit. Milwaukee stands out, but it was never for lack of effort. It was never for cowering or being afraid of the moment. It might have been for trying to do too much, something like that. But there were a number of games where he single-handedly down the stretch willed us to a win. And so I don't know how you replace that. because that's something that's inside of you. That's something that doesn't show up in stats or a basketball reference page or anything like that. And so I don't know how you replace that. You hope maybe a guy like, I mentioned Gary Trent Jr. As a possibility. Might be too rich for our blood. So I just don't know. It might be a collective, It might be somebody in the draft who has the same DNA. That's the beauty about Malik Monk. It wasn't about his points and assists. It was about his DNA, the way he carried himself, the way he embraced the fan base and the fan base embraced him. You don't just, replace that. It's not like you just throw another body in and they magically have the same impact. And so that's why I'm worried about losing Malik. That's why he's so important. It's not just the points and the numbers and everything like that. It's the heart and soul of our team.
Yeah, it's a tall task, and it may be, in fact, impossible. But I think the only sensible way to approach it, if you're trying to replace some of the things you would lose, is A, you try to replace his offense or just his shooting, either through your draft pick or your mid-level. Mm-hmm. And then B, as far as the spirit, like you say, in the leadership, I think you have to hope that if you can pull off a big enough trade for some of the names we're talking about, I don't think it's unfair to assume that somebody of that caliber would help in that area.
Yeah, right. And I think, where the Kings have to get to a point of is a destination where guys want to come to either I look at a guy like Malik Beasley, for instance.
Boy, he had a night last night.
Didn't he?
Boom, boom.
He would be perfect for us.
I'm with you on
that.
him.
But he took less, bet on himself to go to Milwaukee, and hopefully get a bigger bag this offseason. Who's that guy for us? Can somebody come here and look at us and say, man, Malik's not there. He cashed in. Maybe I could slot into his role for a 2-year contract or a 1-year contract or something and then cash in. It might be as simple as we're going to have a rental. Like, it might not be a person for 3 or 4 years. It might be a revolving door until we figure this out.
That's kind of what Malik did when he came here, right?
Yes, exactly. Malik bet on himself, came here, short-term deal, and now he's cashing in. And can't blame him for that. But, man, I wish we had, somebody asked, how come you didn't sign Malik to a 3-year deal so you could get his bird rights and everything and be able to pay him more? Well, at the time, Malik wasn't how he is now.
Right.
Like, as much as he wanted to prove something, he needed to prove something to us, and he did, and now he's going to get paid for it.
Can Keon Ellis replace Monk, then find a player to start in place of Keon? No. Right? I love Keon Ellis, but no.
Let me ask you this, and we could talk about this. Tell me why not. Like, why? I'm not saying he can or not. I just want to hear your thoughts. Why don't you think he can replace him?
He's never going to be the offensive player that Malik Monk is. And so I just, and he's more of a quiet, I love it.
Yeah.
It's just Malik is so larger than life with the energy.
I give you that.
And that's one big difference, just basketball wise. Malik showed he can play point. Keon Ellis, one of the things that he still struggles with is his handle.
All right.
I think he's making strides there, but to me, that's not realistic.
But here's the question too, and I hear you, and I agree with everything you said. Are we buying into his shooting, that 41.7% 3-point that he had last?
I think he's a good. I've always thought. I know it's kind of sideways. I've always thought he could be a good shooter. That good? I don't know, but I'm not worried about Keon Ellis. I'm not worried about Keon Ellis. I just don't think he's going to be Malik Monk.
So let me ask you, is he our sixth man? Like, here's the thing. If Malik leaves, I don't think you necessarily have to look for Malik part 2. I think you can look for, a different version of a backup guard or a different version of a shooting guard. It might be shooting guard by committee, coming off the bench. Because if we're talking, let's say Kevin Huerter's back, he's in the starting lineup. You got Keon, you got Davion. Is it Malik or somebody else? That's a crowded backcourt. Somebody might, so you may not need the same exact, like, I think Keon Ellis going into next season should be a 20 to 25 minute a night guy.
He definitely does one thing a sixth man needs to do, which is he has an impact right away. But with him, it's defensively.
Right. It's defensively. I don't know, man. I think if we're looking to replace Malik Monk, in terms of looking for a carbon copy, it might not be out there.
Of course not.
Somebody that can run the team like he does, knock down the 3, clutch moments, heart and soul. Like, he checks all of the boxes you would want from a backup guard position, and I don't know if that person is out there.
Let's talk to Steven on
our
Sacktown
guy,
Sports.
Steven.
Hey, Steven, what's up today? Thanks for being with us.
You're that guy.
What's up, Steven?
Are you sure? Yeah, I got
Steven, you're on the radio.
Hey, how's it going? I'm here. I'm sorry. I was talking to my boss. I apologize.
You at work, bro?
Oh, what? I'm at work, man. How can you? Aren't you guys working? Come on now, man. Don't bust my balls like that.
Go ahead, Steven. Go ahead, man. You got 15 seconds.
Shot clock winding down.
I got clock winding down, man. Let's go all in, man. Let's go get Jared Vanderbilt, baby. Let's go get him, man. Bring him in. We got a little bit of a project, man. So everybody's a project on this team. Our team's a project. Our roster's a project. So why not at least go get somebody that could come and help us out, at least give us some bright spots on our offense? Jared Vanderbilt. I'm right with you, JJ. Let's go.
Yeah,
he said all in on Jared Vanderbilt.
That's not a
Come
thing.
on, like, what are we like, Steven, man? Like, I've never seen anybody that excited for Jared Vanderbilt ever.
His mom is like, "What are you talking about?"
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, a nice 3-and-D guy. Well, not even a 3-and-D guy. Nice D guy. Yeah, but I just don't see it, man.
He's not the player that you think he is, Steven.
Yeah.
At least not right now. And he was hurt a lot too.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot.
He's rangy, he can defend a little bit, but he didn't have a good year.
Right, and he didn't pan out the way the Lakers thought he would pan out.
Sound like Malik Monk.
And so what do we do then? What do we do? Is it Gary Trent? Is it,
I know you don't like it, but I just think he's going to cost too much. I don't think I can afford Gary Trent. I like him, but he's already making more than I can offer him.
Why are we in such cap jail then, man? This is frustrating.
I know.
We can't afford Gary Trent. I know. And we only got two big contracts. Where's our money at? I'm watching Boston. I keep telling you, I'm watching Jaylen Brown making close to $60 million. Tatum, Al Horford got paid. Drew Holiday. How come we can't afford Gary Trent? Like, something's wrong.
The 10th best. TV guy in the league.
I'm probably the bottom,
and that's the thing.
In terms of pay. They need to up my pay, big fella.
Honestly, and I think I saw someone put this on the text line. I'll try to find it real quick. We might have to, and I say we, like I'm spending the money. You're gonna have to spend some money. You're gonna have to get into the tax luxury bracket, and unfortunately, that's what it takes to kind of win a championship these days.
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on how easy that is. If you only
spend some money. That's how easy it is.
Seriously though, I mean, let's say you have somebody who's a free agent and you don't have cap space. You can't just sign him and decide we're going over the cap.
Right. No,
it's so it's
you have to. Well, part of it is there's different levels, right? So as they say, aprons, but you can always pay your own a lot more, and that's the tough part. Is kind of what Drapes is saying.
Right.
The one thing, and this is why I think most people have kind of been, subject to what's going on, a little, constructive with what's going on with Monty is he's set on his hands in many different ways where he could have took the shot to go get a, big name person, kind of like they did with Pascal Siakam, even though he didn't want to come here, but go take the shot and then be able to repay him on the backside of the situation. And so now that you haven't done that, you've kind of, as what Drake said, you've kind of handcuffed yourself in what you can afford on the open market because you don't have none of these guys under contract. Once you do, you can go, pay him $500 million almost if you want to.
Well, if I understand you right, that's kind of what they did with Domas, right? He's got a lot of it. And the other thing is like Malik, and this is confusing, but you could offer him like about $18 million a year. But if he says no, you can't offer that to somebody else.
Right. You can't offer that to somebody else or offer him more. And, what to Jay's point, and maybe, this is, a knock on Monty, get the guy so that then you can be able to exceed the cap to keep him, and that's with Boston, Drew Holiday, Derek White, like now they're already over the apron. So they're, just going to keep spending. They're just paying for it. It's not like we can just sign somebody into our cap space as a free agent. So maybe you should have Pascal Siakam, if he would have decided to stay, then you could have re-signed him and been A-okay. But because we didn't bring anybody in by way of trade, our only way of improving really is by way of trade right now.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can absorb any big-time money.
But Drapes and Whitey, this the rainbow in the sky, so to say.
Mm.
I believe Harrison Barnes was signed to a very tradable contract at 17 and a half. It'd be a little bit almost 18. I believe Kevin Huerter has a very tradable contract for what he does. And as you've alluded to, this was a down year. He's hurt. I would imagine he's going to bounce back to some form of what we saw last year. Now I don't know. A lot of people said he had his best year, but that was also really the first year he ever started and was depended on to be the guy that he is. I think they have some movable contracts compared to how many times do we look in the league and we're like, man, ain't nobody paying that guy $45 million because he's hurt. It's kind of like the Zach LaVine, the Bradley Beal. Like that's the pushback with me and Drapes are saying with LaVine and Bradley is he's always hurt. But you got to pay him $50 million. So I think they have, the pie is in the sky for him because they have some very tradable contracts. You just got to make it do what it do. You got to trade him.
When we come back, LeBron, as he considers his future, is there anything he has left to do to solidify his GOAT legacy? And an NBA legend has a very interesting answer to the question, who is the greatest of all time? We're back with that and more Kings talk. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley with special guest, Foghat.
Oh, I'm back. ZZ Top.
Playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-high rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, with your help, we're figuring out what the Kings need to do, when they need to do it. And, of course, like everybody else, we've been talking about LeBron a little bit today, but I want to frame it this way, Drapes. If you were LeBron here and you're looking at your future, and we assume he's probably going to go back to L.A., so we're not, spitting these crazy yarns about LeBron and Durant, they're going to join Steph. No, he's probably going back to L.A. But if you're LeBron and you're looking ahead to your last few years, presumably, even he says, yeah, I'm not going to play forever. Is there anything you think he should be mindful of that would help him solidify his standing as the GOAT? Is it him or it's Jordan? And I think they're both keenly aware of that. I think that's one reason why Michael went ahead and produced The Last Dance, right? Because he saw that, man, this guy's passing me. I got to remind people how great I was. Yeah. So is there anything that LeBron should be keeping in mind here? Where am I going to go? Well, what do I want to get accomplished? Do you think there's anything left for him to do that would solidify his standing as the GOAT? Or is it all pretty much like, no, you've done all you can do?
It's all about championships.
I agree.
That's it. That's the only thing. He, averaging 35 at age 40.
Number one scorer of all time.
Assist, all that. It doesn't matter. Right now, the only place he's trailing is championships. Another MVP, regular season MVP, I don't think that would do it. Because here's the thing. To a segment of people, including myself, he's already a GOAT.
Right.
The GOAT.
I realize
that. To the people that don't say he's the GOAT, the main thing they bring up is 6 championships for Jordan. So he needs to win another title at least.
And I think it's inevitable. I think at some point, years down the road, he's going to be considered number one because people are going to forget. It's just you forget things that are further in the past. Right. Jordan's star will dim. There will still be a few that say, he's the greatest. But I think it's going to be a consensus, and it may even be that now, that Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. Or excuse me, pardon me. I meant to say that LeBron is the greatest of all time. So should he be aware of this? Should he be thinking, man, I got maybe 2 years left. I got to win 2 more championships. What do I do?
No, I mean, yes, but it's how you win those championships. It's not jumping around from team to team. Oh, let me see who the best team is. Oh, let me go join Denver. Or let me join Boston. And the thing that Jordan had was he was undoubtedly the best player on those championship teams. That's where LeBron is right now. If he jumps to, let's say, the Warriors or something, is it Steph Curry's team? Is it LeBron's team?
Right.
Like, I don't think it will help his legacy. It
might
could
even
even hurt.
diminish it.
Right, exactly. That's what I think. And so I think if you're LeBron, you stick it out in Los Angeles and you make sure Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, they make the moves to put you back in championship level. I don't think the Lakers are that far off. I think the hard part is getting the two superstars. Once you do that, now you got to find the right pieces. That's where the Lakers have struggled, is finding the right pieces around him. We'll see if D'Angelo Russell, who has a player option, opts out and becomes a free agent. Does that open up some money or, sign and trade with a Trae Young in Atlanta or something like that? I think, if you're the Lakers and LeBron, those are the kind of things you're looking for going forward.
I don't think he's going to win another championship. And I know that's a separate conversation. I agree with you. That's about all he could do between now and the end of his career to further solidify his standing. And I agree he probably should and will stick with the Lakers, but I don't think they're going to win a championship in the next 2 years. They could, but they're just the way the team is built. It runs counter to the way, in my opinion, championship teams are built.
Let me ask you this, though, Whitey, and I hear what you're saying. They ran into Denver their last 2 years. If they don't run into Denver, let's say they play OKC first round instead, and I don't know if they beat OKC's playing extremely well, but is it about matchups for them? You know what I mean? Or could they play a Minnesota or a Clippers and beat them? Let's not forget, they got to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Right.
And so I don't think they're that far off. I think there are a couple of pieces, whether it's another starter or some bench rotation guys away, maybe a head coaching change, something like that. I don't know. But in the West, we've seen OKC, Minnesota. You could go from 9-10 to 1 just like that. The team that nobody wants to face, the Denver Nuggets, which the Lakers have faced 2 years in a row. And I'll say this, even though they lost in 5 to Denver, all of those games were close.
Great games.
They were great games. I mean, the Lakers had the lead at half in all of them. They were winning, and then Denver just had enough left in the tank to outlast them. But I didn't think they were that far off from beating Denver.
I just think it's hard for a team like the Lakers, the way they're built, to get better. And would they have beaten OKC in the first round this year? Yeah, maybe. I think next year it'd be harder for them to beat OKC because I think OKC's going like this.
Yeah.
And we don't know that for a fact. It depends what they do. And I just think the Lakers are in that difficult position where they got to work really hard to just tread water. And in the West right now, that's just a tough situation to be in. I don't know what else they should do. Obviously, when you have LeBron and Anthony Davis, you're not going to tear it down. You know, at some point, maybe that's the best thing for them to do, but it would be ludicrous for them to do it now. I think they're kind of stuck where they're always going to be kind of an outside threat, puncher's chance, but I don't think they're going to win another championship before he's done.
Yeah, you might be right, man. And they're a little hamstrung on what they could do. They don't have a whole lot of picks and money and things like that. I think they always find a way, though. Look at them last season at the trade deadline. We're like, how did Rob Pelinka get all this talent at the trade deadline and to help them get to the NBA Western Conference Finals? They do have a couple of pieces I feel like they can trade. How about a guy like Rui Hachimura?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be interested in that?
Maybe he's limited. He's not good defensively. If I'm the Kings, I'm not interested.
Okay.
But they also are one of those teams that's been stockpiling some draft picks. I think they have 3 or 4 they could trade.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, if I'm Danny Ainge, I look at you. Ooh, you have 3 or 4 first-round picks. Ooh, that's
right.
You're not really stockpiling, so it's tough to compete with other teams that are trying to bring in somebody. And I think you and I have differing opinions on Trae Young. I know he's a really good player, and I like watching him play. That's where the Lakers are. Let's get Trae Young. How much better does somebody like him make that team? To me, it's like, I don't think he puts them over the top. And that's if they get it.
I love Trae Young. I think, I'm a big Trae Young fan in terms of with the right team. Can he be the alpha dog on a winning championship team? No. with LeBron James and his shooting, you know, he would have to adapt his game, I think. But one of the issues the Lakers have right now is they don't have dead-eye shooters. You know, you look at a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, Gabe Vincent coming off the bench. They were terrible against the Denver Nuggets. You know, D'Angelo Russell was up and down.
Yeah.
You throw a Trae Young out there with a LeBron James, talk about the floor spacing that Trae Young would give you. I actually like that move if I'm the Lakers. Now, defensively, they would have some major issues, but they had that this season too. Like the reason they lost against Denver wasn't, to me, because Jokic dominated. They had nobody that could stop Jamal Murray. And so is there a guy out there by way of trade or free agency that you could sign that's more of a defensive guy? Is it Jared Vanderbilt, if he's healthy, that could defend, you know, the perimeter?
Him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is it somebody like that? And so I just think, you know, they need an upgrade in talent. Like, one thing I noticed, LeBron can't carry a team himself anymore. He needs help. Anthony Davis was phenomenal against the Denver Nuggets, but they need one more piece, high-level piece. And I actually like Trae Young for them.
Did you see when AD got that stinger?
Yeah.
And I know, you know, a guy like that, he gets hurt, he's hurt. But it just didn't look like much. And I'm not suggesting he wasn't hurt, but man, was that obviously painful for him when it looked like he just got bumped.
Yeah, a fluke injury, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he clearly was in pain, down on the ground, holding the shoulder and everything. And, you know, it was one of the most weirdest injuries you ever.
Yeah.
Because that kind of play happens a billion times during the game. You never see guys, worse. And I guess he just got it at the right angle and everything, and it was bang, bang. That was scary, man.
Does LeBron ever win another championship before he's done? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll get to the phones. Also, give you an all-time greats interesting answer to the question, who's the greatest of all time? When we come right back, Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from one Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at your
And so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Speaking of so much more, I got an ignorant question for both of you. But I am interested in the answer.
All right.
So who's winning the beef, Kendrick or Drake? What's going on?
Oh, you know about that, Whitey?
I don't know much, honestly. I'm not trying to pretend, but it's everywhere.
It is everywhere. I have not listened to Kendrick's latest release.
What?
I haven't. I'm not that big of a Kendrick fan, Jay.
Okay.
And I heard it's long too. Like
6 minutes.
6 minutes. I mean, I'll check it out on the drive home and report back. I can't imagine Drake losing, man. He's been coming out with some heat lately, and so as of now, I got Drake just because I haven't heard Kendrick.
Do you know who Jerry Blevins is?
Yes, absolutely.
He used to pitch here. He pitched for the A's.
Yep.
Jerry Blevins on Twitter says Kendrick is just too deep.
Yeah.
That bleep hurt my feelings. So I was like,
really?
Jerry Blevins is talking about it. I gotta ask you guys.
I'm on the opposite side. I think Kendrick wrecked Drake. Like,
really?
I thought Drake's was about a 5, but you got to set some standards and beef records too. Like,
right.
Well, how do you like your beef, right? Like me, I want it disrespectful. I want catchy. I want metaphors. I just don't like you, and there's different levels of beef throughout, rap history. But for me, I thought Kendrick was creative. I thought the metaphors are there. I thought he dropped dirt. I thought he talked about a lot of stuff.
Consensus, if there is one.
That he did. And then at the same time, just straight, like, you know what? I don't like you. You know, that type of situation.
Really?
Like,
okay. Didn't you tweet like, nice tunes, but I just don't like you?
Yeah. He basically was like, I just cool. And he mentioned a song that Drake had another beef with someone else, and it was Meek Mill, Philadelphia.
Yep.
Called Back to Back. That was like his song. He dropped 2 beef songs, and Kendrick was like, "Look, I like Back to Back, but I still don't like you."
Okay. All right. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
But let me end with this. I'll say this. What Drake is kind of saying to me, I think is gonna play out. Drake is more pop. Drake is more R&B. Drake is more, big star. Kendrick
mainstream?
Is very mainstream.
Right.
Like, absolutely. Right. Kendrick is mainstream, but he's at the bottom of the top when it comes to mainstream. He's more lyrical, as Jerry Blevins says, going to make you think. And he did. Drake will forever outwin popularity contests with Kendrick. So it's going to always be tough for someone to be like, well, Kendrick won the beef. No, because more people rock with Drake.
Does Kendrick just benefit from being in a beef with Drake no matter how it goes?
Truth. I think anyone benefits with any beef with Drake right now because he's mainstream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And honestly, fellas, I'm not a fan of it right now because part of me feels like it's contrived. Part of me feels like it's just for PR and to get, I don't know, man. I don't find it like I'm from the beef days back in the day. NWA, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, no Vaseline. I'm like with real beefs back in the day.
East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, but this beef goes back, right? It's not like just like, yesterday they had a beef.
Yeah, but I feel like it was dead, it was squashed, nobody, and then all of a sudden it just comes out. And now J. Cole's at like and I heard J. Cole and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna delete this. And it's like y'all too far, y'all too up there to be beefing. You know what I mean? Y'all at the top of the game. You know what I mean? Y'all in the owner's box. Let the young scrappers do that. I'm not into it, man. That's just me. That's just me.
I'm complete opposite. I'm all in.
You all about to be. You want that smoke, right?
I'm all in, fellas. I'm not gonna lie.
Were you a Nas Jay-Z guy back in the day? That beef? When Nas and Jay-Z, they were throwing haymakers?
Any beef, Drake. Okay. So I'm there for to see. I'm the all right. Like I'm that guy. You know what I mean? Jay. I'm N1 basketball, the MC.
Okay.
Hot sauce coming down. Like I'm that guy.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. LeBron, is he going to win another title before he's done? Let's start with Jeff on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Jeff. What's up?
Not much. I want to thank you guys for entertaining me every night when I go home from work. I enjoy listening to you guys intermingle.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Now I'm going to share with you, and this might date me, but unfortunately, we're all going to watch Mr. LeBron be the GOAT. And that's because when I was a kid, the GOAT was Bill Russell because the man had 10 championships. Then came along Mr. GOAT, and he took over with the 6 championships, Jordan. Now, unfortunately, Father Time's going to catch up with everything. Mr. LeBron is going to be the GOAT, but he's not going to be because he's going to win more championships. He's just going to have every damn record you can think of. But aside from that, I don't see how the Lakers have any way to go past OKC, past Minnesota, or past all the youth because Father Time beats everybody. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much for listening. There's one guy he missed in there, and this was what I was getting at. Somebody just asked Walt Frazier, or maybe Walt just said it.
Yeah.
The great Walt Frazier, who's the greatest of all time. And he said, dude, it's Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I saw the story. It's like, Hall of Famer has shocking answer to GOAT. I was like, shocking answer? Wilt Chamberlain said a shocking answer.
But nobody talks about Wilt, though.
I know.
Nobody talks about Kareem. Like, those guys are just forgotten.
Yeah.
I could make an argument for Kareem being the greatest of all time. Look at the longevity, the championships, the MVPs. Look at Wilt. Look at all the records that he's put up.
Kareem had the 6 titles.
6 titles. Exactly. Yeah. Kareem had 6 titles. And here's the thing about Wilt that I always maintain. You put Wilt on those Bill Russell teams, take Bill Russell off, Wilt Chamberlain wins 10 championships. It was just, when you look at the way the Celtics were constructed versus the Sixers/Warriors at the time, he had more Hall of Famers, than Wilt did. It is what it is.
May I give you a box score fun fact?
Yeah, I love this.
Okay. And I saw this. Somebody wrote this story, and then they had one of Wilt's lines, which I'd never seen before. It was from a game in 1968. He was with the Sixers, and they won. Wilt Chamberlain had, and remember, they didn't officially have steals and blocks then.
Yeah.
But he had, I have it right here, 53 points, 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 11 steals, and 24 blocks.
Get out of here. That's an actual box score?
Yes, although, again, the blocks and steals are not an official stat.
Right.
So if somebody, it's not official.
Yeah, it's not, but
I don't have a hard time believing he had 24 blocks.
That will never happen in his. That's what I'm saying. And so people discount what Wilt did, man.
I know. Well, because he played plumbers.
Right. He played plumbers, and he didn't win as many rings and everything. Like the caller just said, and like Clyde Frazier just said, the GOAT, Bill Russell. Those were the GOATs back then.
Yeah, and they had to play each other a lot.
Yes.
Wilt Chamberlain didn't play plumbers because he had to play Bill Russell every other night. Gary joins us on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Gary. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I have three things on my plate. One is Kevin Huerter. I know he had a really good season, 2 seasons ago during the regular season, but he was terrible in the playoffs. And I think that eroded his confidence. He was very erratic this year before he got injured. I don't see him as a starting guard on a championship team. I think it would be good coming off the bench. And when I look at Barnes, I like a lot of things about his game, but I just don't see how we're going to go to the next level with a guy like that as our power forward. I think we need a guy who's more defensive, who's lengthier, who can do some rim protection if we're going to combine him with Sabonis. And I think that Monty really, you can make an argument that the Kings were actually better this year than last year. The record was pretty similar. Their defense was a lot better. They had those terrible injuries at the end of the year, but every team in the West added at least one starter last year, quality, and we didn't add anybody. So anyway, that's my take.
Got you, Gary. What do you think?
No, he's right, man. About us not adding anybody. Is Kevin Huerter a starter on the championship team? I don't know. I mean, what are we asking Kevin Huerter to be? Is he your 5th starter? Is he going to be a top 3 option? Probably not. But, I think the Kings have bigger problems than just Kevin Huerter. They need to upgrade the bench, the power forward position. Kevin Huerter, if he resorts back to Kevin Huerter from 2 seasons ago, I'm perfectly fine.
He had a great year.
He had a great year. He had a phenomenal year. And I understand he didn't shoot well in the playoffs against the Warriors, but I don't think anybody did, really. Maybe Keegan had a solid shooting, but other than that, and not many people had it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, one more Laker note, if I may. This is funny, so bear with me. This isn't, the Lakers are so great. The mayor of Los Angeles, and what is her name? She had a message for the team after they got eliminated, and she said how proud we are of Los Angeles. And she said, well, at least we won the in-season tournament.
Oh,
she tweeted this, and fans were so upset by it that she had to delete it.
Wow.
They're like, what?
She really said that?
Yes.
Man, please. That should be an afterthought, right?
Politicians don't know.
That seems like it's a trolling tweet, like somebody trolling the Lakers. Well, at least they won the in-season tournament. This is the mayor of the city saying that?
Yes.
That's terrible. Come
Karen
on,
Bass.
mayor. What's her name?
Karen Bass.
Karen
Bass. There you
go.
Yeah.
LA Mayor Karen Bass, whoever runs her X account, tweeted, at least we won the in-season tournament following the Lakers' season-ending loss.
Got that banner up, too.
They got the banner up for it, yeah.
The post has since been deleted.
Wow.
From
From
the Los Angeles.
I mean, it had to be an intern or somebody tweeting for her, right? You can't be that tone deaf. And you're talking
to that happens all the time.
Right, I know. They have no clue, right?
Yeah.
Man. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's like years ago when Miami won, was that 2006 when they won? And some woman was at the parade and she goes, and now here's the guy who makes it all happen. And it's Dwayne Wade. She goes, Wade Jones.
No way. I missed
that. You never heard that?
I don't think I heard. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
we could
gosh.
probably find that. Yeah.
Oh my
and
gosh.
There he is. Wayne Jones.
No way. Classic.
Politicians, they just need to be really careful with that. Looks like one King is headed to the Olympics. Tell you who next. Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app. The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
All right, so the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, or whoever runs her account, tweeted, "At least we won the in-season tournament after the Lakers got knocked out. Their season was ended Monday night, and the post has been deleted." So we were talking about how politicians, when they dabble in sports, they so often say embarrassing things. But perhaps the greatest example of that was, and it was 2006, and the Miami Heat won the championship over the Dallas Mavericks. And I have her name here somewhere. There was a woman who at the parade was, classic moment. Miami politician, don't have her name. She's trying to honor the 2006 NBA Finals MVP, Dwayne Wade, but it's not a very good introduction.
He's calm, collected,
has a will to win because his name, of course, is Wade Jones.
This is to the crowd.
Yeah, there's the video.
Oh, you got it. You play on that, Whitey. I gotta see the video. Look at Alonzo Mourning. No, I'm watching the video right now. I gotta see Alonzo's reaction here.
Would you be able to play that one more time, Jay, please?
Look at Alonzo. Look at Dwayne Wade. He's looking around.
To win because his name, of course, is Wade Jones.
I've never seen her.
We're just looking at the video, and then he gives her a hug. But the
her reaction. And then Dwayne Wade's looking around like, who's Wade Jones?
I had never seen that.
I never seen it. That was classic. That's awesome. Poor lady. That's hilarious. That was good stuff. Oh,
she
man.
sold it too.
She did, right?
His name.
She was like, I'm gonna nail this one, everybody. My kid's gonna be so proud of me. Wayne Jones. And then the crowd gets all quiet. It's like, he was like, huh? What?
They all were looking back, the players. It was Miami-Dade County Commissioner Barbara Jordan.
Oh, Miss Barbara
Jordan.
Miss Barbara, come on, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I guess whenever Dwayne Wade went on Levitar, that's what they'd call him.
Call
now here's Wade Jones
Dwayne
with us.
Jones.
Yeah. Did you hear that? It looks like Domas is headed to the Olympics.
Oh no, I didn't hear that. He's going to play for his home country
for
there?
Lithuania. Yeah. After missing the World Cup last year, Domas ready to come back representing Lithuania. It was announced by the head coach today's press conference. And also Valanciunas, Jonas Valanciunas and Domantas Sabonis will be playing for Lithuania.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Domas. Playing for his country. You know, he didn't play last year in FIBA World Cup action because of the thumb situation.
Right.
Also had a newborn baby as well. And so did not play, but he'll be in Paris, representing his country.
Yeah. So there's going to be some competition. And then your guy, Dylan Brooks, says, oh, the U.S. are getting all these guys because they want to beat me. But
Dylan Brooks. Hey, would you trade for Dylan Brooks?
No.
I feel like Dylan Brooks may be on the outs there in Houston.
Good.
I think, come on, man. Come on. Actually, let's think about this. And I understand, Dylan Brooks is who he is, 28 years old. Only averaged this past season, let me pull it up, 12.7 points. Shot 36% from three. But he's that toughness we need, man. That competitor. Ooh, he's owed some money, though. $22 million next season, $21 million, then $20 million.
I think they overpaid a little to get him, but bless him. And
Yeah, I think so. A 4-year, $86 million contract, and he might be a little too rich, a little too costly for my blood.
Yeah. I give him credit. I mean, he built that persona, that reputation, and then it paid off for him handsomely.
Yeah, exactly. Beamer Beams or Beamley says, we need a crazy-eyed Bobby or Dylan the villain. We need an enforcer. I agree, man. I agree we need somebody with some cojones, some stones, an edge to them. That could also play basketball, not just a bruiser or anybody like that. And I don't know who that's why I think Bobby Portis would be perfect. Dylan Brooks at that amount.
That's Harrison Barnes money, man. Come on now. That ain't but a couple $1 million.
So switch out HB for Dylan Brooks?
Yeah.
I understand the upside of having a guy like that. I just think that I have too many more needs if I'm the Kings. I know Jay was talking yesterday about it. There are some guys on the team now that he says they don't play the way he likes them to play. And I understand that, but I feel like I could go and get a Patrick Beverley and I'd be tougher, but I don't even know if I'm going to win as many games. I just don't think that helps me in the areas where I need help.
Fellas, do you guys, I don't know if you guys did you guys see JaVale McGee's exit interview?
No,
I didn't.
I'm going to have to find it. JaVale McGee talked about how great, and G-Man said this yesterday, Whitey, how great the camaraderie this team has.
Yep.
The fellowship, the communion. They're nice guys. He said that twice. And I honed in on that.
Is that a good thing or not?
And guess what? Drapes is
not the way Jay looks at it.
JaVale McGee said the same thing in his exit interview. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna find it. He was like, "Listen, the one thing," and I can't remember who asked him. He's like, "This team is great, a bunch of nice guys." And he said it. He said, "We need a bunch of baby daddies. We need." And he said,
"He said that."
Yes, he said just like that. We need a bunch of baby daddies. And I look, that's stereotyping,
right?
And he said baby daddies, and I can't remember the second narrative of what he said, but he was basically saying we need some people that's gonna come in here and ruffle some feathers.
Yeah.
And he said that behind it is like, look, all these guys are nice, but to win a championship, nice guy mentality is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I understand that. I just think it's got to be somebody who can play first, and then you can also bring that. Great, but just bringing in somebody who doesn't have the skills. But who's tough. Like Marcus Smart would have been perfect, but now I think he's past that, isn't he?
Nah, I'd still take him. I mean, he was injured this year, but it's not like he's injury prone or anything like that. I would definitely take a guy like Marcus Smart. And I agree with JaVale McGee. You need some dogs. You need some.
You do.
You need some guys that they're going to walk into your building and send a message. You look at the Denver Nuggets. That's who we always talk about. Their coach is that way. Mm-hmm. Michael Malone is a dog. He's going, Jamal Murray is a dog. KCP has some dog in him. Yeah, exactly. Reggie Jackson has some dog. Jokic has some dog too. He's out there trying to embarrass you. And so I think our guys, if I'm going to put it like this, fellas, our guys are out there trying to play basketball. Championship teams are out there trying to send a message. They're trying to dominate you. Our guys are trying to win a game. Championship teams are trying to embarrass you out there.
How much of that do you lose if Malik goes? Or is he, we know he's got leadership. Does he have that? Or are we talking about something
a little bit, but not enough. Like not enough to, have an impact throughout the organization, throughout the team.
Doesn't Trey Lyles have some of that?
A little bit, but you got to be out on the floor. Trey didn't play a whole lot, especially in the elimination game that they lost against the Pelicans. I think, like a guy like Marcus Smart, man, I think he would be perfect for our team. He can guard the opposing team's best perimeter player. He's a dog. He's going to hold you accountable also. Mm-hmm. You lose a game, it ain't going to be all sweet in the locker room. You're going to get out of your comfort zone. And I think that's what JaVale McGee is talking about.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, and I agree with you. I just think there's a danger of a cart before the horse thing with where my roster is right now talent-wise. I feel like I got to make sure I get more talent. If I can find talent that is like that brings that too, great. But to go out and get some toughness, if it's somebody who's not even going to play that much,
I don't know if we can get that talent though, Whitey. That's the problem. That's and I think that talent you're looking for ideally is Keegan Murray. Like we need Keegan to take that leap. Then you could go out and get some of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But if Keegan doesn't take that leap, then you have to go out there, get the talent you're talking about, and go get, an impact player like that too.
One more quick note on broadcasting. Are you a fan of Inside the NBA?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. It's tremendous. There's some reporting here. This is from, I think, Wall Street Journal and also Sports Illustrated. Andrew Marchand from The Athletic also reporting Amazon will get a third NBA package in 25-26. It'd be more likely Amazon can make the push to hire. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. The Inside the NBA show, there's a chance that NBC is going to get that package, which would mean that show might go away.
Yeah.
The Inside the NBA show, Ernie, Kenny, Charles, Shaq, that might go away because, Ernie works for basically CBS or TNT. Yeah. If NBC comes in, they're going to want to maybe hire their own people. There's also a chance that Charles, Shaq, they may go somewhere else.
Right.
Like they'll get a bigger offer from ESPN. So that show may be going away. And it's not just the 4 on-air people. It's all the producers.
Yeah.
This is big. All the big contractual changes with the NBA. We may lose that show, which would be terrible.
Yeah, and I can't imagine basketball not being on TNT. Like we've grown up with that. We're kind of used to it now. And, that's the best studio show out there inside the NBA. I did read that Charles has the option, like if they dissolve that, he can get out of his contract and go wherever. But man, that's like the best thing that station has going right now. And to lose that would be massive.
Wall Street Journal pointed out Turner has the right to match any NBC offer. But a lot of people think that NBC is going to come in because they need programming for Peacock. Some people think they're going to drop like $2.5 billion for the NBA, and that Turner would just not be in position to match that.
Right.
They can, but they might not.
And the NBA, I think, is, going to take the highest bidder. It's all about money. And, I don't think they'll think about, how great TNT has been and Turner has been. I think they'll go to the highest bidder and, NBC will get it back.
So I'm going to enjoy it while I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely miss it, man. And it's here's the thing, man. Sometimes their show is better than the games.
Oh yeah,
like and I catch it on the next morning. When I wake up, the re-airs too sometimes. And so that would be massive.
Yeah,
if they lost that.
And it's amazing how all the other shows try to emulate it, and they just can't do it.
Yeah,
they cannot.
Right. ESPN has tried. Everywhere has tried. Even on a local level. That's the gold standard that, you try to achieve, is inside the NBA, that kind of chemistry and camaraderie out there.
All right. So fingers crossed on that. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with a look back. This date in baseball history. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no picking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, the Hot Tub Store, and Cattleman's.
Remarkable change begins with daring to be different. Baby, I'm on a mission with Boost Mobile, putting the latest phones in the hands of more people. Introducing the Signature Coach Prime Razor, only from Boost Mobile. Rush to your nearest Boost Mobile retailer and get your Signature Coach Prime Razor on us. Get after it.
When you switch in with ID verification, select plans only. Offer valid 4/19/24 through 5/23/24. While supplies last. Taxes extra. New customers only. Must remain active and in good standing on the $60 a month plan for 6 months to receive all credits. Offer subject to change.
Ew. Gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors. It helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in 1 wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
So Drapes and Jay say the Kings absolutely must have a new player that brings more edge. A guy with more dog in him. So I'm looking at the free agents, see if there's anybody like that available. How about, let's see, KCP's potentially a free agent, but I don't know you're going to get him.
Yeah.
Who was I just mentioned? Somebody a minute ago, and now I can't.
Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig. Yes, Torrey Craig got any of that?
A little bit. Not a whole lot. Doesn't move the needle for me.
Nicholas Claxton. Yeah.
Let me see.
Mo Wagner. I'm not sure he's out there.
Yeah. Mo Wagner got a little dog.
A little bit.
Not enough to.
You already got guys with a little dog, right?
Right. You need a culture guy, like somebody that when they walk in the room, you feel him.
Jay Crowder.
My guy, Jay Crowder, but his skills are diminishing a little bit. I like Jay. We talked about Patrick Beverly as a guy. I think he would be a good guy. We talked about Marcus Morris. I think a good guy off the bench. I'd kick the tires on. He's getting up there in age, though, a little bit. I'm looking at this free agent list also. I don't see much.
I know you've mentioned this guy before, and I know he's tough, but I don't know if he's that type of player. In addition to that, Xavier Tillman.
Oh, I like Xavier Tillman.
I know you like him a lot.
I like Xavier Tillman. I think so.
He's probably gettable.
He's gettable. I like him as, a backup big. I don't think he's playing much right now with Boston. He's not necessarily a stretch guy, but I think, he's a guy with, much more upside than what he's shown. And so I don't think it cost a lot to get him, bring him in. So, yeah, Xavier Tillman. Why not? I like him. I thought he was, on the way up in Memphis, and then, their injury situation, and he's only 25 at that. You look at a guy, a few years ago, third year in the league, 7 points, didn't take a whole lot of threes, obviously, but was a solid rebound, 7 points, 5 rebounds in 19 minutes. Not bad, and you're not asking him, to come in and be a 20-10 guy. I think, somebody that can back up Domas, maybe play some 4 a little bit as well. And so, but he doesn't move the needle too, right? And that's the problem with the Kings. They need a series of moves.
Yeah.
There's no magic pill, right? That you get this guy all of a sudden.
He's going to bring all of it.
He's going to bring check all the boxes. I think you need 2 or 3 more guys if you're Sacramento.
We had a caller earlier today who was talking about the backup center position and the need for fortifying that position. Other people have said that, written that. Alex Lynn had a really good year.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a pressing need, or is that on the back burner, or is it even a concern?
Did Alex Lynn, did he sign I thought he only signed a 1-year deal. I thought. I'll need to double check that. Or maybe it might have been a 2-year with a team option in the second year. I thought he did a phenomenal job. I thought Alex Lynn was really good. I thought he, just a 1-year deal. Yep. 1-year deal. And so, do you bring him back again? Or do you go out there and get a Xavier Tillman or something like that? I thought Alex Lynn did everything you asked him to do. Mike Brown asked him to do. But did he move the needle enough? Is that going to be the difference between, beating New Orleans and not beating New Orleans?
I know some of the numbers suggested that what he was doing was not as obvious. That is, his plus minus was always good, and the team played well when he was on the floor, even though he might not have been putting up numbers that caught your attention.
Yeah. He wasn't a points, rebounds, assists kind of guy, but when he was on the floor, he did a lot of good things defensively, adding some physical presence down low, some shot blocking, which is an issue. We were 27th in the league in shot blocking this past season. I think Miami is behind us and one other team that's a playoff caliber team, maybe Philly. And so I'd like to get a little more shot blocking out there this season.
Before we go, I just wanted to look back on this date in baseball history. Something really significant for a number of reasons happened. This date, 1991, and it was in Oakland. Rickey Henderson passed Lou Brock to become baseball's all-time stolen base leader with his 939th career steal.
Lou Brock was the symbol of great base stealing. But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. I want to share that because this is a true story. If any of my family's listening, they're rolling their eyes. For years after that, when I did something around the house that was either plumbing or electrical related, I thought something that I thought, man, I did a good job. I gave that speech to my family.
Really?
I said, Lou Brock was a great base stealer, but today I am the greatest of all time. And they wouldn't stay around for the whole thing after I did it a few times. But every time I did something around the house that I thought, man, I did it, I gave that very speech.
Thank you. Man, you are a joy to grow up with.
Of all time.
You're a joy as a dad, right? Oh my God. I got to hear that every day.
Not if I clean the
gutters. This guy takes the trash out.
No.
On this day, I am the greatest. He makes some toast in the morning. On this day, come on, man.
That stuff, no. But if I had to rewire something or fix the plumbing, then yes, I had my moment. I had my Ricky moment.
You know what?
That's how I felt.
And Jay will attest to this. I feel you, Whitey. And sometimes you need to toot your own horn as a dad.
Thank you.
Because you know how it is.
Yeah.
For dinner, you get the big pork chop or the big piece of chicken. Or for Christmas or birthday, you get some socks or a tie. Like sometimes you need somebody to pump you up and appreciate you.
Yeah.
And if nobody's going to do it, you got to do it yourself.
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got to do that.
Because otherwise, something's broken, your dad fix it.
Right.
It's not that easy all the time.
And then you do it, and there's no gratitude.
Right.
It's no like, oh, Dad, that's amazing. Thank you so much. It's just like, all right. You're dad. I get it, man. You're supposed to do it. Man.
But like I say, after a few times, I had to stop doing it because people would they'd walk away. They wouldn't hear the whole thing, or they roll in the eyes, sarcastically. Yeah, that's a great speech.
But you know what? It's interesting you bring that up. One thing I won't do, I had some furniture delivered, and you got to put it together. I don't put furniture together anymore. I'm past that stage. I'm like, so I'm listening to you rewiring things and building things and bringing out the table saw and all this. I'm like, I think I'm past that, man. Like,
really?
Yeah, I don't think I can do it anymore.
Are you above it, or you can't do it? Or
no, I'm never above it. I just don't want to. I'm just I'm tired. Like I'm too tired. I've done that.
You put your time in.
But you guys remember this growing up. Our dads used to work on cars.
Yes.
We used to change our own oil back in the day. Things like that.
Be underneath.
Yeah, be underneath.
Brakes.
Nowadays, you can't do that. Nowadays, it's like, I got to take it in. Everything. So, that's good stuff, Whitey. I appreciate that hard work.
So happy Ricky Henderson Day. And then, I don't know if you remember this, Ricky got kind of spotlight was stolen from him because later that same day, Nolan Ryan threw his 7th no-hitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that would have been Ricky. He should have did
that. Nolan Ryan should have did that. That would have been amazing. On this day, I'm the greatest. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man.
So you might go out to an A's game this year. But
I think if Jay signs off on it, I got to get the blessing from Jay. I got to get the A-OK from Jay.
Yeah.
You can sign a permission slip.
Absolutely. I'm coming with you.
We should all.
You would go to an A's game.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to go to one because this is the end.
Okay.
To the best of our knowledge.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I got to go.
It got to be a good game, too. It can't be against the Pirates or, it got to be a good team, though, right? I got to be sorry.
No teams from, can we just say no teams from Pennsylvania?
No. Do they play the Phillies this year? If so,
I'm not sure.
I say let's go there. I wear my Mike Schmidt jersey out there. Let's go.
All right.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us. We're back with you. Are we all back tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all back.
What's coming up here, Jay? CBS Sports? CBS Sports Radio is next. Have a pleasant evening from the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking